3, 2, 1, and we're live! Hello all, welcome back to the INVICTUS stream. My name, as always, is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am here with my heroic friend, Chris. My tail-weaving friend, Justin.
Once upon a time, there was a man named Justin, and that's
my
me.
mystical friend, Mycl. And we are here with Dragon Age 2, Part 3. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an awesome week. It has been the week of Halloween, All Hallows Eve, with spooky, scary things happening everywhere. Did you guys down here have a good Halloween?
It was nice.
Yeah.
There's some murdering, some mystery, some intrigue.
Some murdering, mystery,
fun at Harlan's.
That's right. We did have a lot of fun at our murder mystery party. We'll reveal who did it right now. It was Holly's cousin Jenny. No, we had a great Halloween here. I handed out a bunch of candy, and I saw you guys in the community posted a bunch of pictures of your costumes and things like that. If you haven't yet, find that thread and post, because I want to see everyone dressed up and all that kind of stuff. If you have a really obscure costume, I'm eager to guess it. So don't tell us what it is right off the bat. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope you guys have had a good past week and a good holiday. This is, of course, an 18-plus show. Why is it an 18-plus show, Mycl?
Because we might swear occasionally, saying piss, shit, fuck, cunt.
Piss, shit,
Boobies.
fuck. What
Whoa.
boobies?
No.
Whoa.
What are those?
That's right. There's really no words on the INVICTUS stream, and longtime viewers of that will know that we say pretty much every word, in as well as booger flick, which is a very no word in my house. Don't ever say it.
That I practice religiously.
Which is why we don't say it. If you say it when Justin's over, it's just my wall's all covered in it. So this is, of course, an 18-plus show. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, please. Because there's 11 people watching and only 10 thumbs up. Therefore, something doesn't add up. But it does make us feel a lot better. It makes Chris want to
contemplate the meaning of capitalism.
That's right, because really that's sort of the essence of it, really. YouTube in a shell. So go ahead and like the video. If you're on Twitter, follow us on Twitter. We are at INVICTUS Stream, and that's where we put all the cool. That's what we put all the cool tweets out on, and we ask polls and we interact with the community, as well as follow a bunch of other developers and RPG makers. So go ahead and follow us on that. And of course, if you are on Facebook, which you should be in this day and age, and feel the same terrible feeling we get every time we see our friends be more successful than us, then go ahead and join the Facebook group. The Facebook group is where we ask you to post all your photos and insights and thoughts and ideas and share all of it. The group, not the page, the group. The page is separate. You can go ahead and like the page and just leave it. And I say that because we've had a few people as of late that I think confuse the two, because very nice people, but they tend to post a lot on the page. And the thing is, we don't really follow the page as much. The group's where it's at. So go ahead, share your photos, your stories and stuff on the group. I'm going to stress that one more time, the group, because my phone alarm goes off when it's the page, and right now my phone is blowing up. So thank you all, community members, for joining that group. Well, what's the point of the group? Well, there's a couple really cool things that we can do in the group. First off, we can share photos and ideas, like I said. One of the other great things is it's a lifeline to you guys. We get to talk to you during the game. So if you're watching right now, join the group and we can talk to you under the post for this game. One of the other things that we use the group for is to reward the most valuable post. What's the most valuable post, you may ask?
Harlan?
Yes.
What's the most valuable post?
Great question, Mycl. The most valuable post is the post of the week that we distinguish amongst the rest. It's the post that created the most thought, the greatest sense of conversation, or maybe just made us think of something we hadn't thought of ourselves, which is a lot of things. So without further ado, I want to throw the MVP to our very own Mr. Mycl Barber.
Hello. Back, everyone. Thank you again for joining us. MVP. Well, let me just run down all the nominees that we had this week. We got Evan Lightfoot for incorporating tech into fantasy campaigns. Ooh, kind of interesting. Godpool, with his incredibly thorough rundown of his game session, which was incredibly detailed. It was fantastic. It took me about an hour to read through. Loved it. Chris Long letting us know how his first Star Wars game went. Paul Bernhardt was looking for input. He's been away from gaming for a while, so he was looking to see if anyone has any notable games that they like that have recently come out in the last couple of years. Mike Kyle for looking for feedback on programs people use to create their character sheets. Brianna Agnew Weber had a nice post on, it wasn't RPG related, but it was about donating books on Halloween related books. And one of the nice things was it had different book ideas for people of different ages. Daniel Pedersen Knudsen had a nice little link to a Kickstarter, which was kind of interesting to look at. And Ramaya Smith had a nice one about inserts and how to organize your game pieces once you've gone and you've opened up your boxes. How do you then?
My favorite part. I call it the tornado. After you do it and you punch all the little pieces and your tablecloth gets covered in those tiny little flecks. And then I make my wife clean it up.
All right. See, if you took out the little pieces, I thought it was like a sexual thing. It's like, I love that, opening the box. I call it the tornado. I call it the tornado, and then I make my wife clean up. Terrible. All right.
Michael, who's the winner?
Oh, that is the point of this. So I would like, as we discussed earlier today before the show started, to give a round of applause to Paul Bernhardt on notable games that people have played.
That's right.
Because again,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say again, it gave us thought because some of us have been gaming for a lot of years. Some of us are new to it. Some of us, like Paul, have been away for it a long time. And so, yeah, just go on, give them some feedback on the games that you've liked because it's good. It's a thinker.
It is, and I thought it was really great because it did show that perspective of someone new coming to it now, or someone old coming back to it, I should say. We're all a bunch of different gamers in our group. I personally, amongst these four hoodlums, including myself, I'm probably the newest gamer. So posts like that are really helpful for me because I also get to see a little bit of what's new in the world of RPGs as well. Well, now I'm not really new. I guess I've been playing like Justin and I were talking about this on the weekend. We're like, because I was still referring myself as a new gamer, and he's like, no, I think not anymore because we've got
like level 2.
Well,
it's not just dire rats anymore. You can fight kobolds and.
In the past 2 years,
was I drunk? I don't remember this conversation.
Yeah, you're like, in the past 2 years, we've done like 300 hours. No, was it 300
Oh,
hours?
yeah, we've done a lot of how many games? It's like 100.
Oh well, 52 weeks in a year, right?
Yeah,
so 52 games a year, basically 2 years, round up. So we'll say about 100. 3-hour games, 300 hours. In the past 2 years, we've done 300 hours of RPGs. Yeah. What do they say? What do they say that it takes 10,000 hours to make you a master?
We're not even close.
Actually, I was just thinking we really need to get a fucking life. Can you imagine the things we could have accomplished in that time?
In 300 hours, I could have learned to paint. But I already know how to paint terribly, so we're good. Anyway, MVP goes to you, Paul. Well done. Of course, because this is back to our regularly scheduled program, there is going to be a mid-game post where we will, the first, second, and third, as well as the 20th person, will each get rewarded a little bit of XP. And I want to touch on XP really, really quick because I know it's something that I've mentioned a few times. We're going to finish out Dragon Age campaign, and before the end of the year, we're going to have one master game. It's going to be a one-shot scenario, hopefully to celebrate the end of the year or Christmas, and it's going to be an XP extravaganza. All of the XP that you guys have earned, you're going to want to throw it because starting the new year, we're basically going to be introducing a lower tier system of XP so it's easier to track and so it's more important when you guys use it. And one of the things we sort of realized was that, we have people that have 100+ XP, which is great. But then when we do a game where 5 XP lets you re-roll, it's just sort of, it lessens the value of it. We flooded the market, so to speak. And this is because we were a small group when we started. We had maybe 2 viewers. And now the community on Facebook is 400+ people. So we sort of have to change with the times, unfortunately. So after that big crazy game. We're going to have a bunch of really crazy stuff to do. You know, like 100 XP lets you kill a character, kill an NPC, and things like that. It's going to be weird. So after that, we're basically sort of going to, you're still going to get your XP. People who have it, you're not going to be set to 0, but we're going to have a system where it's going to be less. And it's going to be rewarded a little tougher to get XP, but it's also going to be a lot more powerful in games. So, for instance, 5 XP in one of our main campaigns is going to make a really big impact, and maybe 1 or 2 XP is going to make a big impact as well. But spending it is going to be a lot tougher, and you're going to want to choose when to spend it. So just to let you know, and again, we're going to be detailing it a little bit over time and stuff like that, but I just wanted you guys to know really quick that we're not nuking it, we're just sort of making it more potent, is what I like to say. Like Chris's semen.
So potent.
So potent and sticky.
I have never drank Mountain Dew.
No, you shouldn't.
No.
I hear Mountain Dew is radioactive. And not the cool Katy Perry one. Is that her song? Radioactive?
No, that's Dragon.
Dragons. Damn it. See, that's how out of touch I am. I thought that was Katy Perry, even though guys think it. So anyway, that's a little touch on that. So please still play the mid-game post, because that XP is still going to be worthwhile in that last extravaganza of the game. I also want to mention and remind you guys to like the video right now if you're watching. And finally, I want to say that I recorded a spooky Halloween game last Friday, and it was hit with a big stupid copyright. Should be fine now. I cut out the part where I used The Conjuring 2. So you can watch that if you guys missed that game. The spooky Halloween game is live again, but watch it after this or tomorrow. That's enough for me. Justin, my man, my best friend. Can you please step aside from my best friend Chris and my best friend Mycl so that I can throw back to you, my best friend, to start us off in this campaign?
I was about to pull this out to cut myself, but thank you, and you're good to go.
Don't worry, Justin. I saved them.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Without further ado, Justin James.
All right, guys. Well, we got a great story lined up for you today. Last time on Dragon Age, there was some really interesting things that happened, and
I want to stress this is not view screen.
Guys, it's on view screen. Yeah, we're I'm good.
Oh,
okay. It was a prank. It was a little prank that I pulled. That's what happened just there.
November Fool's Day.
Anyways, let's have another drum roll, please.
Anyone?
Oh,
he's muted. You can't mute and drum roll.
I didn't realize that. My apologies. Oh, there we go.
All right. Over fire and over stone, over water and over bone, shining out like jewels of light on a sheet of purest night. From The Dragon's Song by the silent bard Devin Feldspar. 10th. You have taken a break from your incessant dart practicing because you've been pulled away and distracted by a painting. A painting on the wall of the Gateway Inn where you and Grinner and Imogen are lodging for the night. It's getting close to 2 in the morning, and you've probably been standing in front of this painting for at least 20 minutes, just staring at it, completely enraptured by it. And it isn't because it's a painting. You've seen art before. While you didn't have any art in the Emir encampment, you have seen it in places like Red Keep when you were there, and or Red Hold, that is, and Renner's Estate. There were many paintings lining the walls, and you were very impressed by how mere people could take oil and dyes and combine them and make them into beautiful art. But that's not why you are so enraptured by this piece. It's the actual content. It's a very small canvas, doesn't really stand out too much. You've seen more extravagant pieces, but basically it's a night sky with a full white moon in the middle of the canvas. And silhouetted beneath the moon is a beast with a soaring wingspan that spans the entire canvas, and a long, scaled tail that flows behind it, and a long, beak-like snout that just screams of power. And so, Penth, what is it that you feel right now? Why is it that you are so enamored with this piece and find it so difficult to pull away from it?
Art is usually something extremely private in the Amir camp. I hear music, I blush because it's something I really share in real moments of intimacy. But I don't blush at this. I don't feel like this is intimate. What I do feel, and very strange, is a great deal of fear. I'm afraid of what I see. I see this representation of this beast, of this draconic beast, and I'm afraid. And I'm realizing this. And I'm realizing my task set forth by my matriarch leader is going to be a lot harder than anything I've faced before. And it's the first time I've realized how afraid I'm going to be if I do get faced with the dragon.
Mm. Grinner, it's getting close to 2 o'clock, and you've made your way downstairs, and you turn the bend into the hallway leading towards Dane's study, where you assume you'll be meeting him. And you stop because you see Penth standing in front of a small painting on the wall. His fists are clenched, and there's a bead of sweat rolling down his forehead.
Penth,
Yeah?
you're all right. And I walk up and I put a hand on his shoulder.
I'm fine. Why?
And I don't know how comfortable I am with Penth, but I think I would. I was gonna say I would touch the swift. That's a bit gay, so I won't do that. I'll just look at. I was thinking like brushing it off his forehead. That might be misconstrued. So instead, I'll just go. And I know. You know what? I look at the painting that he's looking at. Do I get any sense from it?
Nothing special. It's a painting of a dragon and a small inscription in the bottom by some silent bard or whatever, just a little poem.
I turn back to Penth and I say, "You don't like dragons?
Why would you say that?"
Your hands, they're clenched pretty tight, and it looks like."
As soon as he says, I release my hands and I shake it out. Oh, I'm probably just tired. I've been practicing darts for hours. It's nothing, Grinner.
Penth, we've been through a lot. If you need to talk about anything.
And Imogen comes around the corner at this moment and sees you two there, and he's rubbing sleep out of his eyes.
Do you have something to say, Imogen? You're awfully quiet. Clear your throat. And I walk over and I slap him on the back because he's got something in his throat that's sticking.
Muting him somehow.
That's muting him somehow.
Sorry. little sleepy behind. How are you, sirs?
Good morning. What are you doing up?
Good, fine.
Wait, are we up early or we go to bed late?
You went to bed early and you're up super early because you went to
yeah.
You're gonna meet with Dane at 2 a.m. when the bar is empty.
Perfect. Yeah, no worries. I just wanted to make sure. Morning, Imogen. How did you sleep?
Well, sir. Strange dreams. Nonetheless, there was a comfort to them.
Fair enough. And I kind of look at the two of them nervously. Penth, again, sort of standing in a bizarre pose, and he looks nervous and sweaty to me. And Imogen, obviously, since our quest has started, I just felt a bit uncomfortable with because he seems a bit more tooty and like something's up with him. So I give him a stare down for a second and I say, "Are the two of you feeling all right?"
Can I take this? I'm looking at the painting of it. I want this. Can I take it?
I suppose if no one sees you, you can take anything.
So I take it off the hook, and I start taking the back off to take the canvas out and to roll it up.
No, Pence, you can't do that.
As it's already destroyed, I rip the back off. I'm starting to roll it up.
And so I sort of stand between the two of them.
Grinner said if no one sees, it's okay. So I'm...
Well...
no one's... Are you going to say anything?
I'm a rogue, so stealing is not beyond me. Dane owns this place, and I respect him, but it looks like just a worthless painting to me. So I kind of look between the two, and I say... And I turn to Imogen, and I kind of take his shoulder and try to turn him around. I say, Imogen... Penth is troubled by the painting. Let's let him have it.
I'm not troubled.
And I say, yeah.
Okay.
So I lead Imogen downstairs.
You roll up the painting and put it in your garb, and you guys make your way down the hall to the study, and you can hear very faintly the crackling of a fire inside. It must be roaring if you can hear it through the door. And you get the sense that there's someone inside.
And I open the door slowly because I'm expecting Dane to be in here.
Yep, and sure enough, the slim man with graying hair looks up from his desk. He's wearing some spectacles, and he says, "Oh, Grinner, yes, I almost forgot that you were going to be coming. Please, make yourself comfortable." And he gestures towards a couple chairs that are sitting in front of his desk.
And I walk in and I find a comfortable chair.
Sorry, I was going to say, now still keeping the role of the servant while we're in public, even if this guy knows, because I don't know who's watching through windows or anything like that. I would actually be the one to pull the chairs out for them to sit down and be standing waiting for any further instructions.
And I trust Dane, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so as Imogen, as you go to do that, I stop and I say, Imogen, and I use your real name, not Alar.
Alar.
I say, Imogen, if you can trust me, you can trust Dane. He's a good friend of mine.
And this immediately makes me uneasy, as there's just the handful of people that know my real name. And as this man is new to me and has yet to earn my trust, I do have, confidence with Grinner. But anyone else, I do tend to want to let them earn my trust before giving it.
I have many people who come in here under a different guise. If it makes you more comfortable, you can maintain that.
Please.
This is in the inn again, right? This is just another room in the inn?
Yep, this is a room in the inn, and there's a small window looking outside, and glancing through it, you can see that this side of the wall is actually right up against the harbor, and you can hear the water gently washing over crashing against the sides of the inn.
I'm going to position myself near the door, so that way if it opens up, I'm in a good position.
Okay. So,
I would actually ask you if you'd be willing to submit yourself to a test of trust, if you will.
And I kind of cautiously look at Imogen and then back towards Dane.
And he puts down his quill. He's been writing this whole time. Looks like he's just writing down numbers and calculating things. And he's a little shocked, a little surprised, but he says, "Oh, well, young sir, yes. What kind of test did you have in mind?"
What I want to do is connect. And I reach out to put my hand on his forehead.
And I stop him, Imogen. I say, Imogen, I don't think that's the best. And I turn my back to Dane, and I look down at Imogen, and I say, Imogen, if you don't feel you can trust him, that's fine. But he is a friend of mine. And I would ask you to treat him with the same respect that I would ask him to treat you. And I wouldn't subject you to this.
I understand. Yet still, I have one simple question to ask.
And
but
still,
I must be in contact at the same time.
And still sort of between them, I turn back to Dane to kind of get his read on it.
It's all right. Patrons have asked me for stranger things.
And I kind of, all right. And I walk over to where Penth is, and I find a spot to lean.
So,
Angry lean.
What kind of test is this, young Alar?
It is simply to ask you a question.
Of course.
And so I place my hand on his forehead, and part of me feels sick in doing this, as it's not something I really remember learning how to do. But I'm going to do something called thought taking.
Okay.
And so it is a spell power versus willpower, self-discipline if he has it.
Okay.
And it's simply that I can ask a question, and if he fails, he has to answer it honestly.
And
interesting.
As I'm leaning next to Penth, I kind of nudge him a bit.
Yes, Grinner.
And I kind of say in a hushed voice, again with my back to Dane and Imogen, I say, I trust Dane as I trust you. And right now, I'm not convinced Imogen is of his right mind. If something should go on here, we should be ready. And I sort of, as I say that, I kind of tap my bow.
But it's all right, because I failed anyway.
I know, but from a role-playing standpoint, you've been crazy and killed people. So
no. I'm saying I will ask the question, but I won't know if he's telling the truth or not.
Okay. So, and I go to the other side of the room.
Place my hands on his forehead, and I say, Dane, can I trust you?
And the shadows being cast from the firelight and the candlelight on his desk cast a series of shadows over his face that make you feel doubt. But when he speaks, you sense a warmth, and you feel a sense of relaxation, because earnestly in his voice you can hear him saying, yes, I can be trusted. I'm a good friend of Grinner's, and I would wish him nor any of his friends any harm.
Thank you.
Grinner, I am impressed by the behavior of your war hand outside. The patrons seem to really love him.
Oh, Faust, yes. Did you happen to bring him some food this morning?
I did. I have a soft spot for dogs, and we had a lamb shank left over that I thought wouldn't be missed in the stomach of a dog.
I appreciate that. No, Faust is a good warhound. We expect great things from him, hopefully.
So, you wanted to speak with me, and it seemed to be of the discreet nature.
Yeah, I trust that the four of us now have a mutual understanding that we each can be trusted, and I kind of give a bit of a nod to Imogen, like, you didn't really need to doubt it. Right, Imogen?
Until I am confident otherwise.
Well, I can understand why your friend is leery. Val Royeaux is a city of intrigue, where information is traded for money. It's currency.
Yeah, and in fact, on that note, we're looking for a bit of information. We're looking to make our way to the Grand Library. We're in search of some documents, maps actually, more specifically, to try to find a location that Imogen remembers from his past. But we know where the library is. I was here many years ago, but I have a rough idea.
Yeah, University District.
Yeah, the other thing that I think we could use help with, and I kind of turned to Penth tentatively, or nervously, and I said, is we are looking for a trustworthy mage. Because I don't think Imogen knows this, does he? That we were also looking for a mage?
Yep, he would know.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Perfect.
And I wasn't against it.
Okay, I thought the mage was like to like as a safeguard in case Imogen goes crazy.
It was. No. Perfect. It was to control the demon within.
Okay, perfect. Good.
Mm-hmm. So kind of like Dorian was able to go into Imogen in part 1 and subdue it.
Well, that was my thought, but I remembered that Imogen didn't like it. He was kind of like, what the fuck, when he came back out. So I couldn't remember if Imogen was hesitant about another one. But if he's not, then that's good.
No, I was for it, because knowing what it is now,
sure,
I was okay with it.
Well, coming across a trustworthy mage is a difficult thing to do. But even more so is finding a mage that isn't necessarily by the book. And
Yeah,
forgive
someone-
me if I'm wrong, but I get the sense that this is a discrete matter that you'd need.
Yes, no, this would have to be a mage not affiliated with the Circle of Magi.
Yes.
This would have to be someone working on
apostate.
the outsides. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm sorry I can't help you there. There's no way I could link you up with an apostate. It's bad for business, and I don't know any personally.
No, not necessarily an apostate, just someone not linked with the Circle of Magi. Maybe a young one who's yet to enter the circle.
You have a guest here. I saw him last night for a moment with a larger man. And I go in and describe. I would do it in character. I can't remember what he looked like.
Like the giant man with the slender guy as well?
Yes. There was a small man that was with him. I
What?
believe he was a man of power. Would you know what room he's staying in, if at all?
What makes you think that? What makes you think that he's a mage? I do remember the Talvashath. It was quite imposing figure with horns and that gray skin, grayer than his. And he gestures to Penth.
Only a little.
No, I don't. I don't
surely you
understand
must know
why
if
you'd
he
think
has
that
to
he is a
or not.
mage. He didn't
It's
carry
just-
with him any circle identification.
No, just an inkling.
Oh, well.
And I turn to Imogen as well and I say, when did you see this mage? I was with you most of the night.
Yes, it was. I believe I asked you to. You were talking with Dane, and I was distracted, and I made eye contact across a crowded bar. And
No, I remember you speaking
We
of a
locked
man.
eyes and had a moment, and I asked you to look
Yeah,
because it was rather intimidating.
but I didn't see anything. But you knew he was a mage.
Yes, he had somehow disappeared, and that's why I'm wondering if perhaps he was a man of power.
Mm. And I turn back to Dane. You don't remember seeing the large man with anyone else?
I do. Yes, he was with a shorter fellow, obviously, as most people are for the Talvashath. He was carrying an apple. He always seemed to be holding an apple and
Yes.
throwing it around. Unfortunately, they didn't stay. They didn't stay the night. They left.
What about his companion then, the large man? Do you know who he is?
I don't know, a mercenary of some sort, but an intimidating fellow. I didn't really spend too much time speaking to him.
And I kind of laugh and I say, Dane, for a man who trades in secrets, you don't know any hidden mages and you don't know two of the patrons in your bar last night. Are you getting old in your age?
Listen, running an inn is not the easiest thing, brother. I have many things to look after, and he pats a really hefty stack of papers that are just like.
And I
covered
say,
in-
so information is money, but sometimes money's money too.
money is also money. Yes,
Fair enough.
Just because I have other things to look after doesn't mean that I don't know a trustworthy mage. But the mage that I do know is a member of the Circle.
Mm.
That doesn't mean that she's going to tattle on anyone.
Yeah, Dane, you have to understand our hesitancy here. For
No,
all intents and
No circle
purposes,
mages.
yeah, Imogen here or Alar is essentially an apostate. He's on the run. And we need to make sure that anyone we contact in no way is going to be able to go back to the Circle of Magi. And they might not be the kind of person to go back, but they could have ties there of a magical sense that could report him. No, we need to make sure we're under the radar. I've promised Imogen, Penth and myself have promised Imogen at least this much.
Well, I wish I could help you, but I honestly can say that I don't know any mages that aren't.
Well, Imogen, you feel like this guy last night was a mage, so, and I turn back to Dane. There must be someone who could put us in contact with the large man that was with him, if you've seen him around, or the man himself. Any of your patrons might be dealing in that sort of information. He doesn't exactly go under the radar. He was a big man with
Well,
large horns.
of the patrons here last night, the only one that I could say might have any idea would be the Antivan. I don't know if you met him. He was kind of a boisterous fellow.
The dart playing fellow.
That's right. I think I do remember that one back there playing darts with him.
And I turn to
Estabon.
I haven't spoken with him much. He did tell me a couple tales from Antiva, but for the most part, he seemed he didn't speak to me much, but he did seem like someone who pays attention. So he might have some information. Other than that, I couldn't tell you who would point you in the direction of this man. They just seem to disappear, really.
No, if Estabon might be able to, then we should speak with him. Is Estabon still in the place, or did he stay nearby?
I believe he is upstairs still, yes. He'd be sleeping, though.
I think.
And how many years did you say that you have been here, Dane?
Well, about 10 years now.
About 10 years. There's someone I remember from my past, before things went awry. A woman by the name of Alora. Have you ever heard tale of such a lady? And where I may meet her?
Yes. I know a few Aloras, but judging by your ears, I think I can narrow down who you are speaking of.
That would be the one, yes.
You'd be able to find her in the Alienage. I haven't seen her in a few months. I am a little worried about her, though she is more of an acquaintance than a friend, but I know that the work she's doing in the Alienage is, bar none, fantastic for those people that need it most.
And I turn to Imogen and I say, Alora, where did you hear this name? I don't remember hearing this.
She is an old family friend. Perhaps she may know of someone we can talk to, as before the circle it was not an offense to wield power.
Well, that's a good lead, Imogen. Alora, if she's a family friend, she might know where the woods are without having to scour through thousands of maps. I turned to Panther. I said, did you know this?
I didn't hear anything about it, Alora.
And I say, Imogen, if you have information like this, you have to share it. Look, we're all here for the same goal. We're trying to find it exactly. And I kind of look at Dane. As much as I trust him, I don't really necessarily want him to find out exactly why we're here. So I say, we're all here for the same reason. And if Alora sounds like a very strong lead, we should follow up on it first and foremost.
I apologize, Grinner. As you know, a lot of this is coming back to me as we go.
I walk over to Dane's desk and I lean in so that only he can hear me. And I whisper to him, I say, Dane, no one saw me when I took it, don't worry. And I lean back and walk back to the wall.
And he winks at you.
And I'm continually talking to Imogen in the background. And I just say, I turn back to Dane and I say, well, fair enough. Then we have three possible leads. The library, which seems like a last place right now. Alora, which to me seems like the strongest. And in regards to looking for this mage, it seems like Estabon, the man you're playing darts with, might be a good lead. Perhaps we should start with him since we're here. What do you think, Pat?
I'd be interested in speaking to Estabon again. And I think we need to push towards where Imogen's home is. And I think this seems to be a good lead.
All right. Why don't you take Imogen up? I want to speak with Dane alone for a moment about my bow.
Sounds good. I leave the room.
Hey, Alar.
Dane.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
And you.
Okay. So as you two leave the room...
That didn't seem genuine. Hey, take care of yourself.
Let's kill him.
You too. No, neither of them seem genuine.
And then as the door closes, Dane shakes his head and he says, that boy seems troubled.
You're telling me.
Either way, the bow, yes, that beautiful bow of yours. Can I see it again? That's fantastic.
Yeah. And I take it off and I hand it here.
My goodness. Still can't believe you, of all people, got your hands on something like this. My goodness.
Well, it was luck. It was, I think I told you, deeper than the Frostbacks. Real old, ancient tunnels.
You did, which is strange to me. I didn't know that there were any dwarves or anyone in that part of the Frostback. So.
It was bizarre. It was sort of like an ancient. I want to say, like, how this sounds so bizarre, but you know when you're scouring old tomes and you're doing research, it almost seemed like a castle built in the mountains for research, but of more of a dark sense, like they were experimenting on things almost. There was a few rooms I had checked, and in the corner of one I found a creature who I befriended for a short while, but it didn't work out too well.
Oh, I'll say no more. That sounds very interesting. I would very much like to hear more about that. That's because I've never heard anything like that. Research in the Frostbacks. Laboratory, almost.
It was bizarre. I'll tell you about it. Before we get into that, you mentioned that something's dark within Imogen, or something's off about him, and I know it too, and I know a bit. And the reason I'm not going to tell you exactly what I know about him, frankly, Dane, is just because we're on something important right now, something possibly world-changing if we fail. And I don't in any way want to give you knowledge that could hurt you. And I mean that there are going to be very dangerous people that are looking for us, and they will do anything to get information. So believe me when I say, if I'm keeping you in the dark about something, it's not because I don't think you deserve to know. It's because I want to keep you safe.
I appreciate that, Grinner. Sometimes there are many things that I don't want to know.
And this is one of them. But you obviously have a few more years on your eyes than mine. Do you see anything that I'm not seeing about the boy? Do you trust him?
You've got a good sense about you, a good people sense, and that's just what I have. I meet hundreds, if not thousands of people a day here at the inn, and I can tell when something is off with a person. I can get, my instincts are pretty spectacular, not to toot my own horn, that there is something clouding him, something holding him in darkness. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but I just know it's there, so you keep an eye on him.
I will. Now let me tell you about the Frostbacks.
Yeah. All right, so Penth and Imogen, you guys make your way upstairs. And Dane told you about where Estabon's room was. And were you guys going to wait for Grinner before talking to him, or you're going to go in yourselves?
No, we're going to go straight ahead.
Okay, so you find yourselves outside of the door. Doesn't look like there are any lights on or candles lit inside.
I rap on the door.
No answer.
Do you not think it's a little early to wake someone, Penth?
2 bits.
If you're looking for someone, you have no other option. I'm not going to wait for him. I keep knocking.
Still no answer.
So I try the doorknob.
Okay. The
I
doorknob.
kind of slump against the wall, kind of because I'm tired and I don't really want to be doing this right now.
The doorknob gives, and the door opens slightly as you hold it.
Estabon, I'm coming in.
Okay. So you make your way into a dark room, and it's a nice room, one of the nicer ones. The embers of a fire are still glowing in the hearth, and the bed has drapes, some silk drapes on it that are blowing in a breeze that is coming from an open window.
I walk over the window and I say, maybe Estabon didn't want to pay his inn fees. And I close the window before looking to the bed to see if it's empty.
The bed is empty.
Looking out the window, how far down is it?
Oh, it's about, you're actually about 4 or 5 stories up.
Wow.
It looks like it goes into the water, actually. The part of the inn that you're in right now, you walked up a bunch of stairs to get here. It actually is like a bridge over a canal further into the harbor.
Right.
I don't know if you remember the picture that I showed you of it. But, yeah, there's water going underneath it. So if the window was open, if someone were to fall out, they'd fall right into the water.
Right.
Well, Penth, seems to me that it'd be a waste to let this room go unoccupied. So
I look
don't mind
around.
spending the night here.
Before you do that, I look around to see if there's any struggle or anything.
Looking around, it doesn't look like it. But I want
And
you
I
to do a
stretch out on the
perception
bed.
check.
I have to roll a d20.
Yeah.
Foolish. All right. So 9 plus my perception.
Yep.
So 11.
Okay.
For searching. Oh, I got training in searching, so 13.
So it doesn't look like there's anything there, and you get down, like you look around the bed, and you all of a sudden feel something. And your hair stands on the back of your neck.
I look up
And
into
feel-
the linen of the bed. I look around me very quickly.
You look around, and as you turn behind you, just inches away from you is a figure standing, and he has a dagger drawn.
And I instantly just punch him as quickly as I can. Jab him
Okay.
into the throat.
Go for it.
So 9 with the dragon die, plus my 14 with the dragon die of 1.
Okay, 14. That is a hit. Oh, wait, hold on. No, it is not a hit.
Okay.
So you swing, and the figure ducks and darts back and disappears.
But, sorry. Okay, that's fair. I'm not going to change it
Oh
now.
no, he's better at darts than you are.
Darts back. He's darting around.
All right, so he's in the room still?
Yep.
Imogen, go get Grinner. And I kind of get ready to fight.
What is this? Why is it that you come into my room?
Is it Estabon? As soon as I hear him talk?
Estabon. Yep.
I bring my hands down. We were looking for you, Estabon. You didn't answer the door.
I was outside, enjoying the fresh spring air, fall air.
And the
What
window's
season is it?
open again?
No, yes, the window is open again.
You were outside. We were 4 stories up, Estabon. How did you get in here?
I have my ways. And
Is it
he
dark
stepped-
out still, or is it daylight?
It's dark out, but the moon is high in the sky. And he steps out of a corner that you didn't think he was in.
And I look, so I change my positioning so that I'm facing him now. A little embarrassed by the fact that he misled me to believe where he was.
If I hadn't recognized you as the man who lost to me in darts, you would be dead right now.
Now, instantly relaxing, I go back to sprawl out on the bed.
I didn't lose to you at darts. It wasn't even a match. I've yet to learn. But I'll beat you. And as for the dead, I think you are overcompensating or overestimating your ability based on some darts that we played earlier.
Perhaps. But I definitely wouldn't have hesitated to stick my dagger into your backside.
How is it that you were outside?
You all right there, Harlan?
A dagger in the back.
Stick my dagger in your backside. Not even your back, but your backside. That was my
Your
favorite.
backside. Yeah, that's right. He's from Antiva. English isn't his first language. Well, why don't we sit down and we'll have a conversation about this?
I say you may sit down.
Very
I
well.
Put my back to the wall again.
So he steps over to the bed, and he's obviously more relaxed now. And he says, would you mind lighting something on the wall just so that we have a little bit of light? And he hops into bed and says, oh, hello, as he hits Imogen as he's getting in.
Like, seriously, you didn't see me there?
I did.
And then
I
I
thought
roll
about
over
it.
and try to go back to sleep.
So, you want to know how I got out of the window?
Yeah. How is it that you can leave a 4-story high building and return without me even hearing you?
I'm good at climbing. I'm good at opening windows.
That's not it.
That's all you really need to know.
And does he have anything else on him? Is he wearing? What's he wearing?
He's wearing different clothing than he was before.
Like dark colored clothing?
Yep, dark colored clothes. A dark brown leather, tight leather vest with a bunch of pockets in it. And you could hear what sounds like glass tinkling on his belt.
Estabon, we had some questions to know if you had any contacts with a woman named Alara.
Elora? Yeah, I do not know a woman named Elora. I am sorry, but I am new here to Valrayo. I only arrived just yesterday. But why is it that you seek this woman? I am good at finding things. I would be able to locate her for a price.
Yes, well, I don't trust you very much. I don't trust people who sneak in through windows and attack from behind with a dagger. If you don't know her, you don't know her. Perhaps if you come with me with information, then I might pay you for it, but I'm not willing to share with a coward who attacks from behind.
Penth. It wasn't Alora that we were seeking his advice on. It was the big man in the bar and the little one that was with him.
Ah, the Talvashoth.
Sure.
Well, they were an interesting couple, I will say the least. I wouldn't have expected a human to be the Talvashoth's tithe, but hey, whatever floats your boat. Really, I don't know what is up with them, but they're up to no good, is what I can imagine.
Do you happen to know where they went? Did you overhear anything? You seem to be a man that collects information and easily.
Funnily enough, and what I found most interesting of them is that they did not say a single thing. Not to each other, not to anyone else. In fact, most people seem to ignore them. Not me, because I tend to notice the people that aren't saying anything, but...
Oh,
what it was.
We're getting nowhere. This is fantastic.
I wish I could help, but what can I say? That's all I know.
Well, I guess our apologies for interrupting your evening of gathering.
Something like that, yes. I had a pretty good haul tonight. Either way, I hope you have a fantastic evening, gentlemen.
Come, Master Penth, and I open the door for him.
Maybe another game of darts is in your future, Master Penth.
I look forward to it, and I leave.
All right. Grinner, we're back at you with Dane. You've been telling him about the...
So then, creature turns into this massive Genlock Alpha.
What?
Yeah. And get this, Penth. And this is when I just started to know Penth. And you know me. I'm a distance fighter. He he drops his sword, and he goes up and he starts punching the Genlock.
What?
The thing's 3 times as big, and he's punching it, and I'm flying arrows into it. And I shout out to him. I say, "Penth, pick up your sword." And he said, "I have to punch it." And I just thought it was ridiculous, and I left. But that was back when I first. It's when I first met Penth. He's a very strong-willed man, but you know what? At this point, we've become very close. I trust him a lot. He's a good fighter and a good man.
Well, you have to be if he was able to beat a Genlock with his own fists. That's spectacular.
Well, I didn't say he beat him, but he definitely
Grinner,
tried.
are you still talking in there as I walk in? Grinner, it's time to go.
Like
Come on.
2 minutes. Hold on, I want to talk to him about the actual gem. The whole reason. That was just a segue to you guys. I'm still I would need to find about the gem, though.
Yes. So, a rune. You want to find a rune. Now, my merchanting days are over. I don't have any runes myself. You'd have to speak to an enchanter. Now, the only enchanter that I really know of, and that would give you a fair price. I mean, there are some tranquils at the tower that would be able to do it for you, but the tower prices are absurd when it comes to magical items. And then you've got to go through the whole process of bureaucracy and making sure that it's legal, magical.
Dane, you know me. I'm not concerned with the legality of it, so long as it saves me a few coin and maybe some time.
There's a little dwarf lady named Orta. She lives in the, she's in the marketplace. You'd be able to find her there, and she sells runes. Whether or not she's there, she travels back and forth between here and Cumbermere, but she'd be your best bet.
Sorry, what was her name?
Orta. Orta. Here, I'll write it down for you.
No, I have it here. It's all right.
Oh, perfect.
I have a photogenic memory. Eidetic memory. Enchantress. All right. And where was she?
The Market District.
Perfect. All right, I'll look her up, but I guess I'll need to find a rune first.
Well, a rune. No, she'd have runes to sell you. That's kind of her thing, is that she'll sell you the rune and she'll enchant it herself.
Oh, she'll do both. Brilliant.
She'll do both, yeah.
All right, fair enough. Well, excellent, Dane. I appreciate it. Hopefully, Penth and Imogen have found out about our horned friend, as I hear Penth approaching.
I walk in. Are you still talking, Grinner?
Yes, Penth. Were we under the impression I was doing something else? And I stand up.
Estabon was a dead end. He's a man of low moral character.
Seems like you don't like him, Penth. What happened?
He tried to attack me from behind when he didn't realize it was me.
Fair enough. But you asked him about the man with the horns and his partner.
Imogen did, but you don't understand. He attacked me from behind.
And I put a hand on Penth's shoulder. I say, I know. That's how the weak fight. And I turn to Imogen, just more placating you. I turn to Imogen and I say, what did you ask him? What did he tell us?
Well, at first, Master Penth had asked him about Alora, which he knew nothing. And so I asked him about the two men that I had questioned about earlier, the large man and the smaller man. He did notice that they didn't talk to anyone, including each other, but he is unaware of where they may be at this point. So
he didn't have any information on them whatsoever. Their names?
Nothing. It was a total waste of time. Can we go back to bed at some point?
He didn't say anything about Talvasoth? Talvasoth?
I don't know. I was trying to go to bed.
I thought I heard something through the floorboards about Talvasoth. What is that, a race, Justin?
Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure, and maybe someone in the community would be able to clarify, but there's Kunari and then there's Talvashoth. And a Kunari is like a big, hulking, beast of a man, basically, that is great with like two-handed weapons and stuff like that. And a Talvashoth, they've got like Talvashoth mercenaries.
They are Kunari, but they've abandoned the Kun. So they're not a specific race, but they're former Kunari who have basically changed.
Gotcha. Okay.
And they reject the Kun, so they don't shave off their horns, and their culture is not a single group. They sound a lot more like Penth, to be honest. They sound very clan-like, very living encampments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like Koontang.
So he knew obviously that it was a Talbot, which we already knew. We would have known. Yep. Fair enough. And I turn to Penth and I turn to Imogen and I say it sort of not trying to undercut them, but I say, and I just say to Imogen, I say, do you think any more information could be gained if I spoke to him myself? Or was that really all he could share?
He really does seem to be more in line with your ways, Grinner. Perhaps you might be able to, get more out of him, being as you seem to share similar trades.
Well, put it this way. We need to find out where the Alienage and find out exactly where Laura might be. Can you two maybe ask Dane and I'll be right back?
Absolutely. I mean, we can't just... None of us can wait till the morning.
It is morning. It's like 5 a.m.
Yeah, but we've been up since like 2 a.m.
You said you had a good sleep when I met you in the hall, Imogen.
Well, I was having a good sleep. That was my point. I was having a good sleep, but that good sleep seems to be,
Shemlin. You Shemlin. Oh, he found it there.
Thank you.
You're saying Estabon was a Shemlin. Fair enough. Fair enough. If you feel like you need sleep, I'm sure Penton doesn't. Do you need sleep, Penth?
I did stay up all night. Yes.
Okay, then let's take an hour, if that's okay. I want to speak with this shemlining Estabon, and then I think we should regroup down here and make way for Alora. Remember, there are people searching for us.
I'm gonna go check on Faust and then go up to a room to sleep.
Good thinking. Yeah, Faust definitely needs it. He misses your touch. All right, and then I'm gonna head up to Estabon and see if I can't try the softer approach.
Perfect. Okay, so
Estabon, how are you?
Penth, you go out, and while Grinner goes upstairs, and who wants to go first? Who wants to do their?
I think mine will be quick. So we're gonna have to check.
Mine could be really quick too. We don't know. No, I don't know anything. Clink.
So you go to meet Faust, and he's sitting there. He's not even tied up or anything. He's just shitting beside the building.
I was looking at him at the wrong times, licking himself. Shitting.
Yeah, but then he takes his paw and he like shuffles his shit into the water and then sits back down. Not actually, but anyways, he's sitting there and he looks up at you.
You're still alive. Good. And I walked back in, closed the door.
Okay.
That was quick.
So Grinner, you make your way upstairs, and Imogen, you go into your bedroom?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you head in and you hop back into bed and hope for some nice dreams. But Grinner, you continue down the hallway and you make it to Estabon's room.
And I knock.
Why is it that everybody feels that they must speak with me this evening? And the door opens just
Hold on. Is it morning or is it evening? Because I am so confused now.
It's still like dark out.
But after 4 a.m. I consider morning. So it's after 4, right?
Fair enough. It's after 4 a.m. Yeah.
Okay. I say anything under, if it has 3 anything, it's still night. Because I know I've been up. It's like, oh, it's 3:58. It's still night. Let's drink. Let's drink. 4 a.m. No, guys, it's the next day.
Yeah,
that's my internal clock.
So the door opens a crack, and you see the man from downstairs who you spoke with earlier, slightly, and just the side of his face, he says, "What is it? What can I do for you?"
Estabon?
Yes, you are friends with that big man.
I am. And his intentions are pure, I assure you. Do you have a minute to talk?
And he glances over his shoulder, quickly, subtly, but you notice it. Your eye is trained to notice. He says, this isn't actually the best moment. Could we speak later on in the morning?
And I give him a look over. And I want to roll something.
Sure. What would that be? Insight? Or
yeah, exactly. That's perfect.
I think that's a skill.
I guess perception would be one then.
Perception, empathy would tell like his emotions.
So communication or perception. I guess perception, eh?
Yeah, perception.
Let's just do that.
Okay.
And +3, so 6, 7, 8, 9.
So he's obviously hesitant, but you can't get an indication as to why.
Right, and I say, Estabon, this is extremely important. I need you to step out in the hall with me right now. And I look at his eyes as I say it.
I could do that, yes. And he opens the door and he leads out into the hallway.
And as I shuts the door, I keep my hand on the knob.
Okay.
And I look at him and I say, "Is something in there with you?
Something?
Or someone?"
No. No, it is just me.
I don't believe you, Estabon.
I guess I would walk past them as I'm going up to bed.
Yeah, they're at the end of the hallway, but you'd see them.
And I just give Estabon a bad look. That's it. And then I go to bed. Sorry, I keep doing this. I want to do this.
I want to roll insight on him again.
Okay.
6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Okay. He's definitely hiding something.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the questions, but you don't get the sense that he's lying about someone else being in there.
Okay. I just want to make sure he's safe is really my goal. So am I getting the impression that he's like being held against his will or something?
No, he's probably doing something in there that he probably shouldn't be doing.
Perfect. Then I don't care. Then I take my hand off the doorknob and I say, so long as you're alone, that's fine. I say, Estabon, I've traveled a lot. And there's certain situations I've been in where people are in trouble and I need to know whether they are. But you're assuring me that whatever you're doing in there is of no consequence to your safety.
To my safety.
Or the people's safety.
Well, it is of consequence to some people's safety, but no one who doesn't deserve it. We'll just say that.
Your personal matters are your own and yours alone. They're no interest to me to an extent. But we'll come back to this. I just say, Estabon, what I really need from you is just a little bit of help. I know my friends came up here earlier asking you, and I really need to press you for any information you may have on the Talvashoth and his companion. If you know who they are, or if you have any information on who might know who they are, that would greatly aid us in something.
What is your name, first of all?
Grinner. My name is Grinner. As you can see, it's an ironic name, and I point to the chunk of my lip that's missing. A battle when I was much younger, I assure you.
Well, I wish I could help you more than I can right now, but I could keep my eyes open. I have come to know this city quite well in the past few days, and if I do see them around, I could find you and let you know where they are.
And I need to check him and look at his eyes to see if he's telling me the truth. 13.
You get a very earnest sense from him. He seems like a very honest man, actually.
That's hiding something in his room.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. And I say, no one that he would even be able to point us in the direction of the Talvashoth. Do you have any connections with any other Talvashoth?
I do, but they would be in Antiva, very far away.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, if we happen to make our way there, do you have a name for me at least? And I give him a smile as I hint at letting him back into his room, which he's eager to get back into.
Sure. Go to the harbor. There is a pirate ship known as the Shakar. And Rickon is my contact.
Rickon, and that's in Antiva.
That is in Antiva, yes. Lots of Talvashoth like to come to Antiva because it is very far away from where the Kunari are from.
Yes. No, I'm well aware of the history between the Kunari and the Talvashoth now. I say, thank you, Estabon. And I open his door for him, and I start opening it wide.
And he goes to stop it. And he looks at you.
And I stare him back.
Some secrets are meant to be kept, my friend. Perhaps if you earn my trust, you will get to know my secrets. And he closes the door. Good night.
Good night, Estabon. And I leave, at least getting some information. And I'm not tired because I figured I slept because I would have gone to bed and then gotten back up.
Yeah, but let's pass the time. You've got about a couple hours or an hour.
Well, actually, yeah, if they're sleeping anyway, I'd sleep anyway. We're probably going to have a long day. So
yeah, so you pass the time and you wake up. The inn starts bustling a little bit. You hear other footsteps in the hall and the commotion of people within the next couple hours. And you all wake up and you meet to decide on your next course of action.
And I say, the Alienage where Alora is. And what relation did you say she was, Imogen?
Oh my God, why are we doing up so early?
Because we need to get you cured,
whatever.
Imogen. Drop the attitude. Penth and I are here to help you. We have no financial gain in this.
I get that. Truly, I do, and I'm thankful. It's just, I don't see why we can't leave it like after mid-sun or something. Like, why do we have to be up so early all the time? I remember she seemed to be a friend of my father, or talking. It's one of the only memories I have, one of the last memories I have of being at home. So I think she might know a little bit about the history, or at least know where to find home.
All right.
Should
Then I think
probably
we
use
should.
the most direct route.
All right. Then I think we
Okay.
should find her first. I did speak to Estabon, and he did say that again. He confirmed what you guys did find out. He doesn't know about either of those, but he did have a contact in the Tal Vashoth, a man named Recon. If we ever make it to Antiva, he'll be on the ship, the Shikar, just to keep in mind for our future travels. But let's hope that Elora gives us the location and that be the end of it.
All right.
I would just like to make a point that in Elvish, route is actually pronounced route, and it's hard for me sometimes to.
Well,
Say
that's
the
the
right
route.
route.
That's the route of your issue, right there.
It's the root of my issue. Yes,
The route of your problems.
Really talking about, nature.
The route
It
of
goes
all
from
evil, right there.
ground and
Look,
route
we need to keep our schedule. Okay, we need to keep our schedule. There's no doot about it. We need to keep our schedule.
That's what I'm saying. We
Color
talk
with a
about
U.
roots.
So Pen, you didn't sleep too well last night.
No, I stayed up looking at that stupid painting.
Yes, and when you did fall asleep finally, you dreamt of it. You dreamt of the dragon flying past the moon and swooping down towards you, and with wings like that, there's nothing that you could do. It kept on swooping down at you, and you had to do everything in your power just to stay alive, dodging it, let alone try to kill it.
It's a horrible night's sleep.
So does he look worse for wear because of it?
He does look worse for wear.
Then I call him on it. Penth, what's the matter?
I did not sleep well. The beds are too soft.
Penth, I know you. You don't sleep in beds. Penth.
Floors are too soft.
And I pull him aside and I say, is Imogen getting to you?
Mm. I had dreams. Dreams of... And I show him the painting.
Oh. The dragon. Not of Imogen, though.
No. It's my task. I need to find a dragon and kill it.
What?
It's a great honor that's been bestowed upon me, but I don't know if I'm ready or even able. I'm having visions where I fail over and over again as the dragon taunts me.
I've seen you take on Genlocks with your fists. A dragon is no problem for you. Any dragon that meets you is going to meet a very terrible end, I promise you.
Then why do I feel so afraid? And I have such shame in my face when I say it.
And I look to Imogen, and I look back to Penth. And I'm not necessarily convinced that Imogen is the cause of what I'm about to say, but I'm also lying a bit to Penth. I've had bad dreams too lately, and I think whatever haunts Imogen has seeped its way into our psyche. I've dreamt myself failing over and over again in various tasks. Don't believe your dreams. In this case, I think they are tainted.
And a mirror without courage is no mirror. I can't return to my clan like this. I need to solve this issue. I need to rid myself of this despicable feeling.
I know you don't agree with my ways, Penth, but to me, in the way I was brought up, fear is natural. It's the instinct for survival. It's what makes me sharp. It's what makes me want to win.
I have fear, we have fear, but we have courage to overcome it, and it's only in the face of fear that we can show it. I don't feel courageous now. I feel weak and pathetic.
You will when the time comes. And if not, I'll take the final blow of that dragon away from you.
I look at you.
No,
You do that.
I can't.
Right.
No, I just say, you will when the time comes. I believe that.
And I fold it back up. Let's move on. Perhaps if we get a date.
No, I'm saying let's move on. I'm getting final word.
You
I'm
go ahead,
saying
go try.
well when the time comes, and then I stand up and I walk away. I run.
And I sit down and I go,
No.
So you guys have
I'm not ready. I say when we go.
all right. So you guys have a few options.
We want to go to the Alienage.
You want to go straight to the Alienage?
I think that makes the most sense. Does anyone disagree?
Nope.
Let's do it.
Perfect. So you make your way out into the beautiful fall day. There are leaves actually blowing through the streets as you walk through them, and they look like petals And some of them are petals from the various parties and balls that were going on the night before. And they flow through the wind, through the breeze, passing between you and the other city people that are walking this way and that. Very busy street where you're walking towards the Alienage. And everything is fine. Everything is beautiful. The architecture is glistening. It's shining with majesty and prominence. Everywhere you look is just signs of wealth and luxury, and people are smiling. Some people go by, they have masks in front of them, and they nod politely as you make your way towards a large wall. Just a large plastered flat wall that curves around a certain part of town, and you can't see above the wall. It's pretty high up, maybe 30 feet high. But down the street, you can see as you round a bend, and the cobblestone street curves up and down with the road, you see large doors in front of the wall.
And I stop in front of the doors and I turn to Imogen. And I, growing up in, not Osiris, what the hell is it called?
Denerim.
Denerim.
Yeah.
Growing up in Denerim, I know about the Alienage. And I don't think Imogen would, because you're, or are you more of a city brat like me? No, you don't. And I turn to him and I kind of prep him, and Pence too, actually. And I say, Imogen, I want you to understand that what people have done to elves in here and pushing them behind these walls are because they're afraid. And fear, kind of nodding to Pence, can make us do things very unlike what is right. But I don't want you to become bitter when you see what you're about to see. It's easy to forget that there is goodness in the world. And I turn to Pent and I say, Pent, because people are afraid of the elves, they put them behind these walls to sequester them within the city. These are the slums and the lowest of the low. It's close to it, yeah.
Why don't they leave? Why don't the elves return to the wild where they belong?
Because they don't have all the benefits that they have in these walls. I think in a weird sense, I think humankind is trying to help them by putting them behind these walls, but they're actually also trying to contain them. And some elves do escape. We're met many.
Free.
And I don't disagree with that, Imogen, but it's not as simple as that. It's not as black and white as just all elves should be free.
The Alienage is more like a slum, not like a I don't know, a camp that they can't leave, right?
Yeah, it is more like a slum, but social conditions have it so that it's very, very hard to get out.
Okay.
Think of it, without getting super hot topic, I gave the wrong example. Think of it more like Native American. It's like more what it's like.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So
not like torture camps, more like, yeah.
Now,
actually, I think that's pretty much what the parallel they're trying to draw in the series is, to be honest.
Yeah.
In my thoughts and in my heart, I'm thinking about that dream I had and taking down the circle mages and tearing apart the tower. And I'm putting this on my checklist of coming back and destroying this city and setting
all
elves
cities
free.
have this. And I get that. I get that you're angry, Imogen. Well, I see it in your eyes. We'll go that far. And I say, Imogen, I understand how you must be feeling, and I can't relate, honestly. But you need to understand, you're young right now, you're angry, but the world isn't what you're about to see. There is good. There are people in this city that are trying to stop this. The world's not going to be black and white. I just need you to remember that.
Fine. Let's go on. We need to find Lady Alora.
All right. And I flip on my hood because I'm well aware of entering these areas, and we walk forward.
Okay. So you make your way towards the large wall, and as you get to the foot of it, it actually is bigger than you thought, based on the distance. And two guards stand in front of it, and they see you coming, and they nod. And one of them looks a little surprised that there's humans going in, but he doesn't say anything. And they have someone wheel the doors open, crank the doors open. And you step inside. and the atmosphere completely changes. Where the streets of Valroyo's residential district were bright, vibrant, and colorful, everything here is dull. Everything here is wood, mud, dirt, and dust, and gray. And you make your way through the streets. Even the street, the cobblestones are cracked and covered in dirt and mud. And you make your way in, and even just a few steps in, the sense, you start to feel depressed. You start to feel helpless, almost, just by being here.
I don't like this place.
And I hang back with Penth and let Imogen trail, I guess. Are you behind or in front, Imogen?
I would be behind you two.
Okay, then I go up to Penth and I talk to him. I say, Penth, we need to be very careful here. And I'm not just talking about the danger of the area. I'm talking about with Imogen. Imogen right now is a volatile force. And if something upsets him, he can do a lot of damage. When we get to Allura, if we find Allura, let me speak with her first. I need to make sure that she's not going to perpetuate the idea that the world is dark and evil. I need to make sure that she understands the weight of what she's dealing with.
I will sacrifice myself before I let Imogen hurt someone else out of his control.
Me too. But we need to make sure that together we try to stay and keep him positive, understanding that this isn't the way the world works.
And as he's talking, I actually want to do a perception check because I've noticed now that Grinner and Penth do a lot of whispering back and forth. So it's obviously about me.
Good.
Everything in the world is about me.
Nice.
So 13.
Is it a versus?
It would be a versus, yeah.
So what should I roll? Persuasion or communication?
Stealth.
Stealth. That makes a lot more sense. Stealth. What's stealth under?
Dexterity, actually. But I will say roll communication and then add your stealth bonus.
Okay.
It's kind of an interesting way of going about it.
Well,
But
they
I
both
think
roll
it makes
3,
sense.
isn't it? If I both roll communication stealth, I both roll 3, and I just had my stealth.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So
Well, you
6,
had-
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 plus my dexterity or plus my communication?
Plus your communication.
So 16.
16. Okay, and what did you get, Imogen?
Just enough to be really pissed off I can't hear them.
So yeah, you can't.
But
hear
that's a really good pickup. I'm glad you did that because I was like, he's got to listen in on these.
So you're distracted. You're looking down alleyways and you're seeing elves, people that look like you. Some of them are completely hairless. Some of them have strands of hair that are kind of clumped in places. All of them look like skin and bone with sacks basically covering their bodies.
I can feel my blood starting to boil, and I'm just feeling sick inside. And I'm actually not even feeling like really conscious right now. Like I feel it, and I'm not sure how much of it is me and how much of it is this
And I walk over,
demon possessing me.
and just even sensing the darkness and anger emanating from Imogen. I walk over to him and I say, Imogen, even a captivated dog released back into the wild will return to its natural state, feral, fierce, full of life again, if it's given the chance. Don't give up on these people, although this is sad.
I'm
and
not
it
giving
should,
up on these people. I'm giving up on the people containing these people. This
And
is
as
disgusting.
as soon as you said feral dog, Faust looks up at you and kind of goes, "Ooh,"
Ah, you pathetic mutt.
and then he grunts
How-
off and goes over to.
I was
How
gonna
are
say,
you
I
not
thought about it.
embarrassed to be a human right now?
I agree. It's always embarrassing to be human.
Guys,
I am
it's not
human,
just
technically,
humans. As they're talking, which I want them to continue talking or whatever, but I want to be scouting for anyone that, well, I don't know how the fuck I'd be able to find Allura, but
Sure. Well, do a perception check. You don't even need to. So you're walking and you're looking from house to house, and
well, I got a Dragon Knight 4 anyway.
okay. Well, you see shutters close in windows as you're walking by. and people kind of move out of your way. But eventually you hit kind of a crossroads where there's a number of people, kind of like the center of the district, and it's like a fountain, a really decrepit, broken fountain with a statue of a man with his head and leg just broken off, crumbled away, and it's just standing there on one leg, balancing. But there's a number of elves sitting around this fountain, and they all look horrible. If you thought that the other elves looked bad, these ones look particularly bad. Some of them have wounds in their heads, some of them are coughing, bags under their eyes, and like just look sick and diseased. And you see a man going between them, and he's dressed in some nicer robes, but that are covered in dirt on the bottom. And you see a chantry insignia on his robe, but he is an elf. And he goes from elf to elf, and he kneels down and he feeds them soup. And looks very busy. He looks exhausted, but you can tell he's doing everything he can right now.
And I approach him and sort of and I say, "Sir, can I have just a second of your time?"
Oh, if you want a second, then you'll have to help me. Pick
And
up
I
that
grab it.
syringe over there. Bring it over to me.
Yeah, and I do. And I motion to pen. Well, they'd figured it. And I bring the syringe back.
Yeah, and without looking at it, he takes it and he goes up to one person that's lying on the ground and muttering to himself, covered in sweat, and he says, "Shh, it's time. It's time for your medication." And puts it in, and he says, "What can I do for you?"
I just need help finding someone. A woman by the name of Alora.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but she died 2 months ago. Why do you want Alora, though?
I have a member of her family looking for her.
Is that so? Her daughter? Ashara?
No. I'm not quite sure of the relation. He's only just getting his memory back. But look, let me help these people. The three of us will. And I kind of motion them as they're probably walking towards me. And I said, and then maybe we can talk afterwards.
Okay. So you guys go to help out. And Grinner, Penth, you guys do what you can. And everybody roll. Imogen, and add your healing bonus.
Yes.
Now, Imogen, are you going to be helping, or are you...
I am. I'm definitely going to be helping the elves. Yet I'm thoroughly disgusted with this elf that's a part of the broken system, and I don't even want to make eye contact with him.
Okay.
I don't even want to look in his direction. And yet, at the same time, I've got such mixed emotions because I'm realizing that I could have been one of these elves, yet because of my ability to cast and touch the Fade and mana, I was raised above them, in a sense saved from this life. And now I don't know if actually it was a good thing, because I look at the life I have now and how free I am. And I don't even know where to begin right now, other than I will help these people. And I so badly want to actually use the healing spell, but I won't because of this Chantry fellow. So I will just use the healing skill as best as I can to help as best as I can.
Perfect. Okay. So, Penth, did you do anything?
I look to the people who are a little bit stronger to help the minor wounds. I leave the others who are clearly beyond help. We're going to die.
Okay.
Because I know that, in order for them to be okay, a lot of people are going to die in the transition to getting their strength back. But I'm not without belief that I should help those that I can.
Mm-hmm.
So I will heal, the ones that, I don't have much training in healing anyway, so I would stick to the ones that I think have hope anyways.
Perfect. So add those up. What did everybody get?
I got 11, 12, 13. plus what? Anything?
Healing, so it'd be your cunning.
Cunning plus 3, so 16.
I have 11.
And I'm sort of just clumsily following the Chantry guy around because I don't know anything about healing either. And I'm just kind of like, this? Do I need this? And
Yeah. Okay. And he's patient with you. And
yeah.
And I just throw the stuff to the ground because I'm angry now at my own distracted thoughts that I'm like so angry that I'm not even paying attention to these poor elves that clearly need my help, and yet I'm unable to be effective because I'm so overtaken with anger right now.
Okay, so
And
you're
it's just like
scratching
this-
out you're scratching out your helpfulness?
Well, I'm just like I got a total of 8, 9, 10.
10, okay.
And so now I'm like, I don't even understand how Grinner can keep it together to be helpful right now.
And I see Imogen, and I'm shaking my head at him, and I'm continue just keep my head down.
So
I see someone who's really suffering, and I go to cover his nose and mouth.
And I stop Pen. No, Pen.
okay, so you guys did all right. You got 37. And you spend about an hour and a half helping out these people. And some of them, you get the impression that you really did help, and some of them are really thankful. And Imogen, there is a moment with you that a young girl, a little girl, actually, you give her some soup. And she looks up and she makes eye contact with you. And she doesn't say anything, but you just share this moment with her that you can just see the gratitude in her eyes for giving her something as simple as a bowl of soup. And after about an hour and a half, the man comes to you, dusting off his hands from working with these people, and he goes to shake your hand, Grinner, and says, "Thank you very much for your help. It is greatly appreciated. These people clearly need it."
No, of course. Look, what you're doing here is I understand this is a tough fight.
You think what I do is amazing. You should have seen what Alora did when she was here. In fact, that's partly why she passed. She worked herself too hard. She was too stubborn, and when I told her that she needed bed rest, she refused because there were more people that needed bed rest more than her. Were her words exactly.
She sounds like a good woman.
She was. But regardless, is there any way that I can help you? I'm sorry that this path has led.
No, of course. Is there maybe a place that we can speak, the four of us, in?
Can we just cut to the chase? Did Lady Alora ever speak of where she hailed from, where she came from before this city, before she was a captive in this shithole?
And you see this man, he turns to you, but his face is almost passive, that your words don't bother him at all. And he says, "You must be the relative. I'm greatly sorry for your loss."
Yeah, well, that means a lot. How do you even stomach doing what you do, being a part of the Chantry, being a part of the system that keeps these people down, and yet you come here pretending to help them?
Yeah.
And I turn to Penth with like daggers. I'm like,
What? He has a good point.
All of your questions are valid.
How are you not sick? How do you go on living every day looking at yourself in the mirror?
Imogen, please.
Let us speak somewhere else about this. And he gestures to a small-looking chapel, not too far off the way. And he says, "We can talk in there. We'll be the only ones there." And he begins patiently making his way towards the front doors.
And I walk behind him, and I look at Imogen like, get your shit together.
Are you serious? We're going with him? He couldn't just answer the question of where we need to go?
And Imogen's like starting to get to me.
Well, I don't even want to go in there. I don't want to trust this guy.
And I stop, and I turn around, and I go, "Imogen, put your fucking ego aside." And I stop, and I like scream it at him in the square. And I say, "You want to save the world? Why don't you start by helping, all right? Burning it down and building anew, which I know is what you want to do, doesn't work. You know what happens? The same thing we're in right now. Yeah, maybe it's not the elves in a separate part of the city, but it's going to be some other. The Kunar, the Amir, the humans. None of it works. So instead of bitching and making it about you, shut up and help. Pick up a syringe and help. That's what he's trying to do. And I walk away from him.
Amir would never go in a place like this. And I walk after him too.
Imogen, you're left standing in the street of the Alienage. And you look around and you see the people sick, the people that you helped, people that you couldn't help. And as you stand alone, feeling very alone right now, you hear a voice in your head. Your anger is warranted, Imogen. Learn to live with it. Learn to accept it as it is. Voice? Yeah, you recognize it as Cohen.
Is it? And so I'll try to respond. Where are you? Why are you not here with me?
I am, but that's all you need to know right now. And that's it.
That's really fucking useful, Cohen. And now I am taking Grinner's words because it's the first time he's really, like, he's been angry at me before, but it's the first time he's really yelled at me. And so I do feel this as well as all the other conflict that I have, and thinking about the type of Shemlin that Grinner is. Like, he has been honorable and he has looked out for my best interest in the past. So I take another look around and I see if I can quickly find that young girl that I helped with the soup. And do I see her anywhere near?
You do. You find her. She's just leaving the fountain with her mother. And her mother is trying to walk away with her, but she stops.
Please.
Because the young girl is tugging on her mom to stop so that she can talk to you.
Please, my lady. And I kind of pull back my hood a little bit, because if they haven't guessed that I am an elf now, I am a friend, and I'm sorry I can't do more. And I take the mother's hand and I put a gold piece and 5 silver pieces into her hand. Please tell no one of where this is from.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Do what you will with it. Help the others.
You're an angel. You're an angel sent from the
leave her
Maker.
there and run off towards Grinner and Penth and do what needs to be done.
So the door of the Chantry Chapel slowly closes behind you, and you see Grinner and Penth both sitting in pews. And
I'm still pissed off, and I look at Imogen like, I go back to looking forward.
And coming down the aisle, you see the elven priest walk towards you. He's carrying a tray with some drinks on it, and he says, "Please, my treat."
And I take the glass and I sit on the floor next to me.
I take it and I drink it.
So, you have questions. I'll do my best to answer them for you.
Sorry, what was your name? I missed it.
My name is Cyril.
Cyril, my name is Grinner.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, I'm from Denerim.
And who are these gentlemen that you're traveling with?
My name is Panth Terrell, as I take another Imogen's that he's not drinking.
Right.
And I wouldn't take it anyway because I don't fully trust him being of the Chantry. And
Okay.
I introduce myself as their loyal servant, Alar.
It's nice to meet you. If you don't mind, I have a question of my own. How are you related to Alora, young Alar?
I myself am not related. She was a friend of my father's. I'm just trying to... We need to find out where she hailed from.
Right. You mentioned that, and you asked if Alora actually spoke about where she came from. Unfortunately, she didn't. She didn't talk to me about it. She seemed ashamed about it, as if there was something that she could have done. I don't know exactly what happened to the rest of her clan, but...
And I might be able to help. The reason Alar was set to here was that a friend of Alar's, another elf, named Imogen, put us in contact. Does that name ring any bells to someone Alora might have spoken of?
Once again, she didn't speak of her time, her past life too often, or the people in it. Though, what she didn't tell me, she likely could have told her daughter, if her daughter doesn't remember herself.
Alora had a daughter.
Yes. And Imogen, you actually remember, very vaguely, you remember in that vision of your father, Riel, arguing with Alora, you remember seeing a small girl with straight black hair, and just curious. She was slightly older than you, 12, but the name isn't coming to you. Yes, Ashara was another wonderful, is a great boon to the Alienage. She's doing everything she can right now to help us. In fact, every gold piece that she earns that she doesn't spend on the meager food that she lives off of, she sends straight to us. She's the reason why I'm able to stay here full time and haven't been pulled away by the Chantry for some other important Chantry business, he says with a sarcastic tone.
Sir, what was her name?
Ashara.
Ashara, and I instantly go back, and even though I remember being younger than her, I all of a sudden realize, although I thought Blanchette was beautiful, she doesn't even hold a candle to Ashara. And I'm instantly like, oh my god, I gotta find this Ashara. Because she was the most beautiful girl I ever remember in existence.
Well, there you go. Motive, yes!
Cyril, how did you come? Cyril, how did you end up here in the Alienage?
Well, it started just like any other Chantry assignment. I was posted here. The divine thought that having an alien, or not an alien, an elf in the Alienage would best serve the needs of the people. And there aren't too many elves that join the Chantry, though more than you might expect. But she posted me here somewhat as a bit of a punishment, I suppose. I am not overly pleased with all of the Chantry's decisions, so this was her way of getting back to me, but she didn't realize how much I would be emotionally impacted by what I've seen here. And so I've been here for the past 10 years, helping out me and Alora, who's been somewhat like a district manager for the past few months until she passed away, of course. We've done everything I can. We've done everything we can to keep the people here alive.
And that's very noble work of you to do so. These people need people like you.
It was what the Maker intended for us.
And I know, and I look at Imogen as I say so, that these slums of the Alienage are not what anybody wants. So I appreciate it all the more. Ashara, we need to get in touch with her. Do you know where she might be?
I do. She's working. You'd be able to find her at the estate of Duke Fulbert Richaume. He's not a very pleasant fellow, but she's employed under him right now, so that's where you could find her.
And the Duke, why is she, what is she doing for him?
Oh, she's a hired guard. You see, Ashara is so useful and paramount to the survival of the Alienage right now because she's gifted. She's been gifted with the power of the Fade, and she's able to harness magic, which is one of the few ways that anyone can escape the alienage.
Is
So
she part of the
worked-
Circle of Magi, though?
Of course, yes.
Hmm.
She has worked tirelessly through the burning hoops of the university and the Circle to earn her certification as a mage.
Hmm.
Just so that she can send whatever money she can back to the alienage.
That's also very noble. This Duke Fulbert Rochard, you said he's not a very pleasant man. In what way?
He's rather gluttonous, I would say. Physically, that's easy to tell. But he's also very unfair.
In what
He's
sense?
known for making poor deals with people just because he can. He abuses his power. But then again, I can't say that's much different than most of the dukes and lords of Orlais.
And what is he exactly dealing?
Well, his estate owns a large cotton plantation, not too far from the city, but for the most part, he deals with what everybody else deals with. All the other nobles just deal with lots of money and intrigue, the game, so to speak.
Well, all people must have vices. Do you know anything of Mr. Rochard's weaknesses? Perhaps something he's unlikely to resist?
Truffles. Other than that, I'm not too sure. Ashara would be able to answer that question much more accurately.
Cyril, I will level with you. We're looking to speak with her, and I'm concerned about approaching a man like Rochard to get to her. And it seems like there probably won't be an easy way to contact her without going through him. So if there's any information that you can have that would help us with him, Truffles is a great start, but maybe something a bit more simplistic.
Well, he does love information about the other houses. If you were able to find out some juicy bit of information that someone else may not want their secret being told.
This is something we can definitely do.
Might
Do you
wait.
know which house he's in greatest competition with?
Well,
Hearing all this conversation, Penth is like kind of walking around kicking things, going
Like a little kid.
it's like like I am out of my element here. Just kicking like stones around, going, man, the game.
And I'm getting extremely impatient because I'm just thinking again about Ashara and how we're treated basically as slaves, and it doesn't sound good to me to be the slave, no matter how high ranking you are, of a gluttonous man.
Let's just walk up to him and talk to him.
there are the Deshomes. He does not like those Deshomes. Not many people do. They are rude, weaselly people. Pardon my language. I shouldn't use language like that.
Well, Weasley's not a swear, so far as we're concerned.
As long as you don't say
Oh, but
booger flicker.
But it is. Invade it. Yes, he does not like the Deshomes. Two horrible houses that have it in for one another.
Fair enough. And I turn to Penth and Imogen, who I can see are their patience is waning thin, and I say, gentlemen, I know you're not from the city, but believe me, these unfortunately are how things like this are done. If we want to speak with Ashara without the restrictions of her master, Rochard, then we need to have something on Rochard to be able to speak with her freely. And I turn back to Cyril and I say, the Deshomes, whereabouts are they located? I'm sure that we can follow them for a bit, maybe trail one of the most prominent members and find out some information on them. I know Imogen, I mean, what the fuck's your name?
Alar.
Alar. I know Alar is good at listening on private conversations.
Well, They are located at the financial district in the northern end, not too far away from Mr. Richaume either.
And the most prominent member of the Deschamps family, maybe one who you think might have some dirt.
Marcel is constantly narrowly escaping run-ins with the law, but he seems to have the most to lose. Marcel.
Fair enough. All right, Cyril, then I have no further questions. I think, and I turn to Penth and Imogen, and I say, I think if we can find this Marcel, perhaps in a bar of sorts, and follow him, we might be able to have a bit of information that we can use against Rochard to let us speak to Ashara without consequence.
Let's do it, Grinner. I think I look at my Grinner and I say, Grinner, could we not just walk up to him and ask to speak to her alone, privately? What would happen? What are you so afraid of?
Penth, you must understand that cities run under a very strict sort of rules.
This game he spoke of, yes.
I'm not saying, look, Penth, I'm not saying that speaking to Rochard directly and asking for her wouldn't work. The problem is it leaves us with no out. In a city like this, to pull out a weapon and kill a man's guards would end us in jail. And that would be the end of our story, as well as Imogen's. We always need something in our back pocket when going into situations like this. We need to have something. And even if we decide to ask him point blank, this at least gives us the advantage, like high ground would in a battle.
I see. Then I'll follow your lead in this battle.
Cyril, we appreciate your time.
Likewise. May the Maker be with you.
All right, and we leave, and unless there's anything else we need to do in the Alienage, I say we skip along to the financial district right away.
Perfect. So you guys leave the Alienage, and we'll fast forward this. You walk through the gates and keep on going, and you're not too far from the financial district. You have to stop a couple times to ask for directions. But as you're walking, you jut down a smaller road that has a bunch of alleys leading off of it. Someone told you that this was a good shortcut. Mm-hmm. And you're walking along, and you hear some commotion coming from one of the alleys.
And I crouch down.
Okay. And Penth and Imogen? You're muted.
I see that I'm muted. And I follow his lead. Great people
okay.
Coming.
So the air stills, and everything is quiet, and you zone in on a intense conversation that seems to be happening around the corner in one of the alleyways. And a deep, gruff voice, it sounds like it's being muted by metal, speaks, and he says, "I'm only going to ask you this one last time. Give me the purse." And some other people
prick up, and I said, "Grinner, it sounds like someone is being taken advantage of."
And as he's speaking, I start walking towards them.
Imogen, wait! And I walk out in front of Imogen and I grab him.
And I just got so much anger right now. I'm just going.
So more voices pipe in. You hear laughter, a bunch of men's laughter, and the person answers and says, "I ain't giving you nothing. Nothing at all. You think you can go through all of us? You're in our world now, and there's nothing you can do about it, big guy. Just give me the damn purse."
And peeking out, what do they look like? What are we seeing?
Okay. So you see...
Well, Imogen would have seen it anyway because you started walking out.
So Imogen, you got a glimpse of it before Penth kind of yanked you back.
I didn't quite yank him back. I kind of ran out to go along with him, but to try to stop him.
Okay. So Imogen, so you round the corner, and Grinner, you look around, and you see a group of people. One solitary, large, standing man in the middle of the alleyway. He's wearing plate mail, and he's got a big hammer on his back. And he's surrounded by what looked to be a gang of sorts. There are people with some sashes across them, some red sashes, and they're laughing at him. They look like a dirty bunch of people, and yeah, there's about 6 of them, and this guy in plate is all by himself.
Now at this point, I'm thinking, let them kill each other. I don't freaking care. And so I turn and walk back towards the way we came.
And I would never have gone either way. I would just lean back.
Yeah.
It seems like it's sort of self-contained.
Sure.
I sit there watching.
They start shouting back and forth at each other, and he says, "What are you gonna do? You're gonna take this purse back to that rich lady out there? What? She hired you to do this? You're a mercenary, and this is what you're doing? You're getting purses back to rich ladies? Come on. You have better things to do, Carthus." "Just give me the goddamn purse."
Whose purse is it? I speak up.
And I just slink down. Oh.
Immediately, the 3 people closest to you spin around, and they look at the alley, and they say, "Who's there? Who is it?"
I step out and I say, "Pantero, an Amir. Did someone see you take it? Is that what the problem is?"
"First of all, I have no idea what an Amir is." And he spits at your feet. "Second of all, it's none of your damn business."
Is this the big guy or the little guy?
This is the little guy, not the big guy. Big guy is the one who's shouting to get the purse back.
We're on his side, basically, the big guy.
So I walk over to the guy who just spat at me, and I said, "Maybe you'll remember who the Amir are when you wake up," and I knock him out, or try to.
All right. Everybody roll initiative.
Do you want to... I just realized, do you want to do the mid-game post before we jump into this?
Oh, yeah, let's do mid-game post.
I totally forgot as well. Someone just posted it, and I was like, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is over the halfway point of the game. I totally forgot. That's time for the mid-game post. I am going to post it right now. The mid-game post. Let's call it, just to make everybody angry. The word of the day is going to be 2 words. I'm going to wait. Let me just post this photo. Hold on. Everybody enjoying the game so far?
I am.
I just got to tell you, Chris, that just totally made me laugh. Did someone see you take it? Is that the problem?
I didn't even catch that. That's hilarious. I guess I don't have one that says mid-game post. I thought I did. Oh, whatever. We'll do this one. Okay, and I'm posting it now. Remember, the first, second, and third comments get 2 XP, or is it 3 XP each? I think it's 2 XP. 2 XP each, as well as the 20th. And so the mid-game post is going right now. The word is sucker punch. Go, 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 go. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you're enjoying the game. Great job so far, Justin. I do want to take the second to mention that there are a bunch of people in the chat, a few people that have recently joined the game, and some people in the chat, and they're asking about XP. You get a bit of XP when you join the group. I think it's 1, and you get XP when you win the mid-game post, and you can spend the in-game XP in this campaign. We didn't really detail too much, but I think we said 5 XP to give a boost die to either a player of a good player or a negative player, and that would be just like another die, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. You'd get to roll another die and then choose the higher one. So far, because we're only in the 3rd session, there haven't been too many situations where we've needed it. But as we're going into the middle of the game, into the meat and potatoes of this campaign, that's going to be more important. So I will do a post to outline how to spend your experience points this week.
Perfect. And I only mentioned that because people were asking. And I know a few people were like, 1 XP to have a bird poop on you. Doesn't work like that, unfortunately, because then, as I said, we would just be covered in shit everywhere we go. It would just be like, we'd be stepping in shit, shit would be falling on it. It would just be too goofy. So We reserve it, at least for this campaign, for 5 XP to either give a boost or a negative. To use that, you can post here. Again, if you need to use it today, we'll kind of fudge it and figure it out. But I did want to remind everyone that XP is going to be changing in January, too, to be a more concentrated form. So just keep that in mind. All right, looks like we have our first 3 winners. We have Michael Carl Weber. Our very first fan ever, Mr. Jason Randall. And Mr. Paul Bernhard as 1, 2, and 3. You guys each have 2 XP each. Let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is Mark Lane. Let me count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Mr. Mark Lane! Speaking of, as of yet, I don't think we've had a repeat. Like, I don't think we've had a person win in the first place in the 20th place yet, which is pretty damn.
We
good.
have.
Oh,
We've had someone. Yeah, one of the games we were on vacation for, we had to.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, but it's not that we didn't have a lot of people. Just weird chance.
No, it's all me. It's obviously the fate I have, the control over it. To answer a few of the questions that some people were asking, yes, XP allows you to interact with game. You can use XP. You can use XP in this campaign. And again, over our past campaigns, we've had really clever, detailed ways to use XP, like, make a character die or bring him back from the dead. It's really, really tough to track all that stuff. And like I said, we're retooling it all. So for this campaign, unfortunately, it's sort of like scratched down to this. 5 XP to give a bonus die on PC's roll, so one of our rolls. So if I fail a roll and you really want me to succeed, or the other 2 guys, you can give a 5 XP to give us an additional die. It's just an example, guys. I'm just using me.
If you want to throw your XP away, you can give it to them.
If you want to aid the enemy, you can give the same amount to Justin, and that guy's roll will have a die. So to answer Sad Fun's question, yes, you can give the Game Master 5 XP to aid the enemy if you really want to be mean. But, we're the guys you should be rooting for. All right, so we have our winners. Well done, guys. Justin's also back and taking a poop, and Eric Johnson's just joined the stream. Yay!
Actually, we've had 3 tonight.
What's that?
We've had 3 people join tonight.
What? I'm thinking we should. I think we should start announcing people that join during the streams live on air, man.
Yeah.
Who was it? We had Eric Johnson just joined. We had
Adrian Famoso,
William Miller,
and Eric Johnson, Adrian Famoso,
William Miller,
and William Miller.
So
welcome, guys. Welcome to the show. Let's have some fun. Okay. Yes, Justin. Sorry, back to the action.
After he spits at my feet and insults me, saying he's never heard of the Amir, I say again, perhaps you'll remember me when you wake up, and I try to punch him. And I roll for initiative.
Insults me.
Everybody roll for initiative.
So, Dragon Dice, do they work on initiative?
No, they do not.
What about if I just punched him?
I will allow you just to punch him.
Okay, then we got Dragon Die.
Oh.
and it's dexterity.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So you're. We'll say that you went first in the initiative.
Okay.
Because they're not really.
Oh no, we won't.
Because it would be kind of a surprise.
Ooh, shit. Okay, yeah. So let's see. So then we'll go to Imogen, but let's just write this down. Dexterity +2. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, what do we got our dexterity? Oh, I have +2 to initiative.
Perfect. Okay, so what did you get?
My dexterity, so I get a +6 to this roll. So it's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
16, okay. All right, Grinner is at 16. He's poised and ready to fight. Imogen?
15.
15, also quite poised and ready to go. And what did you get? So you'll have to roll again, Penth.
Okay.
For a
3, 3, 5. My initiative is 16
Nice.
plus 19.
So 12 or 12?
19 with my dexterity.
What's your dexterity?
How high is your dexterity?
Oh, sorry. I was thinking there's 4 of them. Sorry. 12, so 16.
16.
Jesus.
And what was your
It's all
dragon
the
die?
4. It was like 4 times 4? 4?
Do you remember what your dragon die was, Grinner?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I cleared
You
it.
got to keep your die up for. Just
I'm
for the
sorry.
dragon.
Let me watch the
All
back
right.
play. Hold on.
No, it's okay. No worries.
Mine was 3.
But, I'm gonna put pen right at the top because that makes the most sense, anyways, right now. And last guy. Oh, he didn't do too well. So 7, 8.
I had 3, 1, 6, so my dragon die was a 1.
Perfect. All right. So we've got Penth. So you got a 3, a 5, and a 3. You hit him. Your fist connects with his jaw. Now roll for damage.
I want to
And you can
use
also do
my
a-
combat stunt, Lethal Blow. You inflict an extra 2d6 damage on your attack.
Perfect.
So, I set my feet in first thaw, putting my feet deep into the earth. And I come rising up with a strong hook. And for damage, that sucks, but anyways.
You got a lot of trips.
6 plus 10 damage.
Boom. So your fist connects, and in slow motion, you can feel his jaw cracking, his teeth cracking, and the impact of your fist. And his feet, he's lifted off the ground in slow motion as he flies into the air, and the tooth spits out at you. And you can see.
And does the purse go in the air at the same time? Can I grab it?
No, the guy with the purse is actually on the far end. The guy in the armor is in between you and the guy in the purse.
So I just punched a random guy.
Well, no, he was just a bystander.
He was the one that insulted you by not knowing who the Emir were.
And spinning at my feet.
Yeah, so he
Yeah,
slowly
spinning, you're
falls
right,
to the
spinning. I
ground
forgot about that.
as Grinner.
All right, so I'm still crouched, right? But I was
Yep.
watching. So
Yeah.
my bow's on my back, and I'm crouched. But because Penth is in it, and because I'm a badass, I'm going to use the only talents I have, which are archery style and quick reflexes.
Can
So
I just say quickly, sorry to interrupt, I just want to go into single full defense after that with single arms fighting.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to use quick reflexes to ready a free action. Ready as a free action, so I'll ready myself.
Nope.
And I'm going to use the free action of going prone or standing up as a free action. So basically, in one free action, I'm going to stand up and pull up my bow.
Perfect. Okay.
As well as I'm going. So then, as my minor, I'm going to aim, and then I will fire. At.
right.
Did the guy look dead that just got punched? Because it would be really cool if in like a second he punches him in the air, and then I get up and I shoot the guy as he's falling. But if he's dead, I don't really want to waste a shot.
He looks like he'll be pretty incapacitated when he falls on the ground.
All
But
right,
the
then-
guy standing next to him in slow motion is pulling out his sword.
Yes. So here's what I want to do then. Okay. I'm going to stand up, remove my bow, and aim at that guy as his hand is drawing his sword. I want to pin his hand to his chest so he
Okay.
can't draw his sword out.
Perfect.
And I'm going to try that. And that's it, right? Once per round, I can ready for free. This is my ready for free, by the way. I can only do it once per round. Go prone or stand up is
Every
free
turn.
anytime I want. Every round. I can do it every turn?
Well, that's every round.
Oh, well,
By
it's
the
just
time
readying,
you're-
though. I would only need to do it once.
Yeah.
And so my aim action gets a +2 on the attack roll. Okay, so the attack roll is 4, 2, and 2. So the attack roll is +6 or +8 if aiming. So +8. So 4 and 8 is 12, and 4 is 16. So
That
16 to hit.
Yep.
And I have the dragon die, so I will pierce arm. Let's do mighty blow. Inflict 1d6 extra damage on the attack.
All right. So roll for damage.
So this normally does 1d6 plus 6. We're going to do 2d6 plus 6, which is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage.
All right. So your arrow releases as the bow snaps and vibrates, and it flies forward and hits the guy's hand as he's pulling out his sword, and he throws back his head and screams, and falls back against the wall as you see the shutters to in a building above, looking down on the alleyway, open, and a man with a bow appears, and he's getting ready to pull it.
Fuck! And I reload for free, by the way.
Perfect. Okay. And by the time he's out looking at you, you've already got another arrow knocked. Imogen, it's you.
Yep. Seeing that this is a spot where I can just unleash all of my fury that I pent up through walking through this alienage. As I'm walking up to the closest guy, I'm actually taking my hood off so they know that an elf is about to kick their ass.
Like a superhero.
Yeah. And I just walk up to the first person. And having had training from Penth in unarmed combat, I'm actually laying my quarterstaff down so that I seem even less intimidating as a squishy little guy walks up and strikes the first one in the throat using Falling Leaf.
Yes!
Nice. So that would be 12. That would be a total of 17 with a dragon die of 5.
Nice. You could do a lethal blow, 2d6 extra damage.
I will do that. Oh,
All
so I
right.
still got to do damage. Anyway, so I'll roll a total of 3 die then for damage, correct?
That's right. So as the man that Grinner shot recoils and falls against the wall, has an arrow in his gut, in his hand as well. As he falls away, another man, a third one, is running through the open space that the man has made, and he's not even looking at you. He's actually running past you, Imogen.
Yep. Okay, so as he's running by, I'm basically clotheslining him then. And because he's so much taller, I actually have to leap up. And I'm going to jump as he's running and catch him with an open, catch his throat right in there. And then kind of use his energy as he falls backward to ride him down to ease my jump and ease my landing, and then roll out of it.
Okay, and how much damage did you do?
I did. That is an excellent question. So I did 9, 10, 11, 11 damage.
Perfect. Okay. So you do exactly that, and slowly his neck connects with your arm, and you can feel his Adam's apple bulge back in his neck, and he lets out a squeak as his legs keep on moving, and the momentum, he's completely stopped by this little flying elf dude. And as he's falling, you spin around and you bring him down to the ground hard, and you feel his skull crack and bounce off of the cobblestone. Next, as you look up, and as the first man is still falling to the ground, you can see in the alleyway the other men have pulled out their swords, but the man in the armor has already taken action. He's just grabbed the one with the purse, and he's holding him up by the scruff of his neck, and he's pulling back his fist, and in a snap, he punches the man with the purse in the face as he's just holding him there. And the other two men beside the man being pummeled are pulling out their swords, and they're getting ready to slash at this one man. But first, the brigand, I guess, in the window fires an arrow at Grinner.
Whoa.
Yeah, right. Good luck, buddy.
And he got a...
Oh, yeah, the old GM not showing his rolls.
The old GM not showing his rolls. Yeah, so he actually, the arrow leaves his bow and flies through the air, but you can tell, even from where you're standing, that it isn't even close. It ricochets off of the building to your side, maybe 4 feet above you. But you can see him going to grab another arrow. The other two begin slashing at the armored man.
Hey, quick question, just before my turn comes up again.
Sure.
Because I'm leaning out of a corner, do I get cover advantage or anything like that?
You do. You do. So you would get, I guess, full cover when you're defending.
Okay, just
So it's
curious.
really good right now. Yeah, they swing at him, and you can see the swords connecting with his armor, and one of them looks to draw some blood because it's not actually really good armor. It looks to be beaten up and battered, but it draws blood. But the man just is still there, and he's pulling back his fist to punch the purse thief again in the mouth. So we are back to the top. We are at 10th.
I'm
Stomp on
I'm
his
pretty
head.
satisfied. The guy I punched is out, right?
He's out cold, yeah.
Well, I'm satisfied and done with what I've set out to do. And so I stay in the fight, just keeping an eye on things, but I don't engage anyone else. I stay in full defense and I'm completely aware of what's going on around me, but I will defer.
Perfect. Okay. And now we're going to Grinner.
All right, then I will, since I've already reloaded, I'm going to shoot at that guy again. And I will aim as a minor. Actually, I think it's free as aiming.
Grinner's behind me, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't even know he's being fired at.
No, maybe I don't aim for free, but I will aim anyway because I have minor action. So I will aim and I will fire.
At the window?
Yes.
So he's actually got full cover as well.
So what's it at a minor?
That is going to be a...
Full cover, I think.
Yeah. So no, we'll say it's light cover. So -2.
Okay, so that just negates my bonus.
Yeah.
And just because I'm experienced in archery, normally archery only gives a +1 bonus, but mine's a +2, so it basically balances out. And I still get my regular bonus, so that's good. 6 is my regular attack, so that's going to be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 5 is 21 to hit.
All right. So that actually misses, Harlan. No, it does hit. So your second arrow flies through the air. Before he even has a chance to reload his bow, it flies through the air. It looks like it's going to connect.
12
Where
damage.
does it hit him?
Does he die?
Yeah.
12 damage, then it hits him in the face.
Right in the face. You see his mouth open as he's in shock as he sees the arrow, and he collapses into the darkness of the building that he's in.
And I shrug it off and I reload for free.
All right, we're at Imogen. You're muted.
His
All right, so
self-inflicted throat wound.
The big guy. Sorry, I missed it. He's got 2 guys on him still?
3 guys. He's holding the guy with the purse, and then there's 2 guys slashing at him.
Okay.
The guy with the purse is dangling from his
So
foot.
as I'm still kind of crouched down because I went and rolled, can I pull one of the red sashes off the guy that fell?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. So I'm then going to, again, just as I stand up, just pull that red sash free. And one of the guys that's slashing, if I can get by, I'm just going to walk up and kind of throw it around, like loop it over his head, turn around, and pull him down.
So they are at the opposite. They're on the opposite side. So they're actually looking. The armored guy has his back to you, and the 3 of them
Okay,
are
so I
looking
got to go
towards you.
in front of him.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. In that case, okay, so I've got the big guy who's mid-swing, and then 3 other guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, in this case, just keep walking towards him, staying kind of working my way around the big guy, but very angry still, because this is my moment to just like get out everything that I'm feeling.
Okay.
So I probably won't attack this round because it'll probably take me time to get there.
No, I can say that you'll get there, but there's a chance that you'll be seen.
Oh no, I'm fine with that. I totally want to be
okay.
seen. I want them to like see that there's this tiny little elf kicking their ass. And if
Perfect.
that's the case, then basically just run up and like kick one right in the groin.
All right.
As
Perfect.
swing, just
So go ahead, do
And
that.
then
That's
move
going
on
to
to
be
the
a
next one.
that's going to be a strength roll.
Sorry?
That's going to be strength. That will be strength, but it will be your unarmed, I guess, too.
Right. Yeah, so it would be 8, 9, 13 to hit.
So you run over the groaning man that you've just subdued and put to the ground, who looks like he might be pushing himself up slowly, but you don't think he'll be up very quickly. And you burst to the side of the armored man who's being slashed, and you kick the dude right in the groin. You kick one of the slashing guys right in the groin, and he lifts off the ground slightly as your foot connects, and he keels over, blowing out air, and collapses to one knee slowly, putting his head right at chest level for you. And then we're going to go to the armored guy. So as the guy that you just kicked falls to the ground, the armored man brings his fist right back against the man he's holding, and it connects, and you can hear a crack. And now that you're next to him, you can hear the armored man muttering under his breath, "I told you to give me the damn fist." And it connects, and this man he's holding looks to be on the brink of consciousness. But the other man, who's slashing at Mr. Armor Guy, slashes again, because he doesn't see you on the other side. Okay, and he hits. Okay, so again, you see the this man is able to pierce the armor and get through and draw a little bit of blood. And now you see the armored man wince a little bit, and his grip slackens on the man, and he begins falling to the ground. The other man that he was holding. Back to Penth. Oh, wait, no. The door bursts open slowly.
Bursts open slowly.
Yeah. 'Cause we're all in slow motion. It's just like
Everyone's fighting Tai Chi style.
Open, and you see more men. Penth. 3 men rush out. 2 of them look left, and they begin running towards you. One of them looks right, seeing the trouble that the people around Imogen are in, and he goes to help them. They're all wielding swords. They're all wearing the same sashes.
So they're heading towards Imogen?
One of them is heading towards Imogen, but in between you and Imogen, 2 are running towards you, because you are the closest threat. And there are 2 bodies. There are 3 bodies around you right now.
Okay, I want to stay in full defense, but I just want to get in between Imogen and this guy who's going to run towards him, so he can't run towards Imogen.
That would be very difficult to do. You'd have to get through 2 people. You'd have to get through 3 people to get on that side.
Okay. All right. Then I will still defer.
I'll just explain the situation a little bit better. So you're looking down an alleyway, and on the right-hand side, there's a window that is opened where a man was just shot in the mouth with an arrow, and he's collapsed.
I did that one.
There are 3 men bloody at your feet. One of them is groaning and is pushing himself up. This is just to the right of you, Penth. But looking straight down, you see you see the armored man. But in between you and the armored man, from that building with the window, the door has burst open. That's between you and the man, and Imogen is right next to the armored man.
Right.
And 2 men have run out of that door, and they're running towards you.
Right.
And 1 man has run right out of the door towards Imogen and the armored man, and 1 other slashing baddie.
Well, I see the intention of the 2 men running towards me. So, as they're moving towards me, I move into the space of the first one and perform rock slide parry, getting beyond his initial blade edge, and I connect with an elbow to the jaw, and hopefully stop him from his intentions.
This is one of the ones running towards you?
Yeah. So, 10.
10. All right. So he sees your move coming. He must be familiar with the rock slide parry, because he dodges it. He moves his blade around it. He doesn't connect with you or anything like that, but he doesn't take any damage.
Then am I allowed to go back into my defensive stance then?
Was that would have been a major action though, what you just did, right?
Right, so I'd have minor actions.
Yeah, defense is a full action, a major action.
Okay, then I will just continue in my weapon style.
Okay, perfect. So where are you now? Are you on the other side of them?
No, because I don't think I could run past them in order to engage them. Actually,
Right.
I would try to, right? But seeing that they're going to connect with me beforehand, I would turn my attention to him and try to strike before he moves.
Okay. So the two men continue on you, and they look ready to strike at you. We'll move to Grinner now. Grinner, you see these two men nearing on Penth, ready to strike.
Well, again, I never really wanted to fight anything. The only reason I did it was because I saw the guy doing his thing. So if they're moving in on Penth, I guess I would attack as well. Can I do a Robin Hood where I rip off one of the things and fire 2 arrows at once and see if it's... No, I'm just kidding. That'd be so cool, though. That's going to be the final fight of this game. I'm going to do that, so figure out what penalties I have to roll.
Okay.
All right, so let's do this. Which one is a bigger threat at this point?
They both look like equal threats. One of them has a tattoo.
All right, then I will use a minor aim action at the one with a tattoo because I don't like tattoos. And 3, 3,
Nice.
5. Yeah, so 5, 8, 9, 10, 11 plus 6 is going to be 17. Oh, I aimed. So plus 8. 17, 18. So 19.
That definitely hits.
And I will use...
Again, flies through the air right towards him, and he looks up just in time to see it hit his.
I will use... Well, I'm going to use Pierce Armor as one of my things because it's... I have a skill that knocks it down from a 2 cost to a 1.
Okay.
So I'm going to... His armor's halved and rounded down. If he has armor. Does he even have armor?
He does. And actually, the one that you shot at, it was very quick, but this one actually is wearing heavy armor.
What convenience. And you know what? Oh, I guess disarm doesn't work for me, eh? It says you attempt to disarm the target with your melee attack.
Yeah.
So I might as well just cross it off, I guess. And I guess I will knock him prone. No, sorry. I will mighty blow. I'll do an extra 1d6 damage. That makes a lot more sense. So that's 2d6 plus 6 is going to be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage. And
14 damage.
And I pierced his armor.
So, the armor goes down half, right?
It's halved, yeah.
All right.
Says, find a chink in your enemy's armor. Their armor rating is halved, rounded down versus this attack.
Okay, so your arrow flies through the air and gets him in the shoulder and goes right through the armor, and he recoils back, and as he's flung to one side from the power of the arrow, Penth is able to help him in that motion and just get him on the ground. So you're kind of helped in that, knocking prone.
Nice.
All right, and so now we're going to Imogen.
All right, so the man that just dropped to the one knee in front of me is going to get a few quick knee strikes to the face.
All right.
And by a few, I mean one, unless I get a combat set.
Well,
No,
one
you're
is
gonna get a few at
technically... Oh, I guess it's not technically a few. Never mind.
See, you got a few.
All right, so that'd be 9, another 13.
13th, that is a hit.
All right.
Can he do a dragon die? Doesn't that work?
Yep, that works.
Oh, and that was 2 points, correct?
You can't
Yep.
dual strike, but
Right. So, well, actually, I can knock prone for 1 point. And so I will do that. I'll knock him prone for 1 point. And then I will just move yourself or the target of your attack 2 yards in any direction. So I will, seeing that he's lined up perfectly, I will grab him by the back of the head, bring the knee around, so it drives his face into the knee, and then I will use that action to drive my hips back, so I actually leap backwards, getting myself clear and ready to look around and actually analyze the situation now that I've hit something, and I'm not as furious because I've got some of
your anger out.
My penthed up anger out.
Yeah.
And,
so your knee connects, and he is you can feel his nose crunch against your knee, and you kind of throw him forward, right? Or is it just the momentum of your knee throws?
No, it throws me back. I use.
Oh, you're pushing yourself.
I'm
Right.
grabbing his head, and then as my knee comes back, I'm using that action of my hips of drawing back.
Right.
Gotcha. To help push me backwards.
So as your knee does connect, he goes up, blood splurts from his nose, and he falls forward on the ground, a dazed look in his eyes. It doesn't look like he's going to be getting up anytime soon. And you throw yourself back as you see the man in armor bring one more fist across the man's face, and you see his blood, his gauntlet is just bloody now. And this other guy standing next to him is still furiously hacking at him. But you jump back, and you feel behind you, as you go to turn around, you see a big man grab you, put his arm around your neck. And I'm going to need you to do a strength check, an opposed strength check.
Well, I'm sure this will go well. All right. So 12.
Okay. So it's not enough. You feel the man wrap his arm around you, and you feel a sense of panic as he lifts you off the ground, and you feel cold steel against your neck. Penth, you see this. Across, you see Imogen has been grabbed. In between the two men that are on you right now, you can see that, Imogen has been grabbed, and a man is holding him up, and looks like this man is about to speak, and he says, "No, you guys just get out of here, or this elf, or this knife ears is going to meet his end."
Does he see me?
No, he doesn't see you. You can't really tell. It looks like he's got fear and fury in his eyes.
I guess I can't take the shot out of turn, can I?
It's Penth's turn right now, no. Unless Penth, you work something out with Grinner. Or feel intuitively that you will.
Telepathically.
Let me think here. What would I do in that situation? That is not a wise decision to hold a blade to a young boy's throat like that.
Well, then get the hell out of here, and he can walk free. All right? All of you.
I have no quarrel with you until you did this. Let him go, and we can talk about it.
And you see the other men kind of turn back. It looks like this man might have some
mental health issues,
social standing, maybe mental health issues, sure. But the man in armor turns around, and he's not really paying attention to the man who's been hacking him. And he's holding a now completely bloody purse. And there's a man by his feet that his face is just crushed in, like Game of Thrones. And he's got this purse, and he says, "I've got what I came for. Let the boy go." And he begins walking towards the exit, which is where you guys are.
I'm just staring at the guy, waiting for him to let him go.
So there's this intense moment. And we're going to go into role-playing for a little bit. So we're going to break the initiative a bit.
Oh, I was role-playing this whole time. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're just going to go into...
Strict rule, not initiative order?
Yeah, because the battle's kind of ceased. There's like a calm in the storm.
So says you.
Then I would take my shot. I would shoot the guy.
Okay, now it's going to be a tough shot. Imogen is right there.
Should you miss?
Squirming. You get a
Should you
minus
miss? Yeah.
2 for someone engaged in melee.
I'll take the risk. I feel confident in my abilities, and I feel very attached to Imogen. I have a past of a young child that believed in me, and I've put that feeling onto Imogen. I feel responsible for him, and all the advice I've been trying to give him is very fatherly. So a man holding a knife to Imogen is like a man holding a knife to my son's throat, which in no way would I stand for.
And you feel confident in your shooting?
I feel more confident than I do in his knife. To me, this is the ultimate threat. And also in like not a meta sense, but like in a deep sense, I'm also very afraid of the power Imogen holds. And if I don't eliminate the threat, I fear that Imogen will. And if Imogen eliminates the threat, people are going to get hurt and something's going to break within him. So I take it on many levels that this is the right thing to do. Also, I just want to be like Penth. No, it's not impulsive. This one's calculated. So I will take the shot.
Take the shot.
Of course. It still aims, so it's 6 and 6 is 12 and 2 is 14, 15. It's 16. And let's see if I have anything that will benefit me in my one dragon die.
No, it's 16 minus 2 because he's engaged in melee combat.
That's right.
14.
So it's
How do you get 16?
I have 8. Yeah, I have 8 in aim.
And he's got
Nice.
plus 6 because he's got bows and dexterity.
So yeah, it's going to be 12, 13. It's going to be 14. And I can use 1, 2.
Maybe there's someone in the audience to help you.
Yeah. Oh, I don't hit him then, eh? Anybody want to donate 5 XP to Harlan? Let me know.
It's an intense moment.
Just the only quick question then, and for people, the stunt point can only be used when it's a successful attack, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Mark just donated.
Mark will donate. Mark's going to give me 5 XP to roll one more die.
Mark
Thank
Lane.
you, Mark Lane.
Hey, all right.
Let's hope it's not another one. 4. I'll take it. So that's 10, 16, 17, 18. So it's going to be 18.
Okay.
Which I feel pretty confident.
So you don't get the dragon die anymore.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Don't need it.
but
If I kill him, that's fine.
you do hit your mark. Even if it's just a glazing blow. Let's
So it'll
see
be
if it's enough.
6. So 11 damage.
11 damage. So, Imogen, you're being held by this man. Things are calm. Penth is completely still, staring at this man intensely. The 2 men that are in front of him are looking nervous. And one of them, as the man in armor walks by, not caring about the situation, you see Grinner with a bow. But what are you feeling in this moment?
I'm actually terrified at this moment. Not because I don't trust in Grinner, but because once again I'm being held against my will.
Yeah.
And not only am I being held against my will, he's actually choking me, so I'm having a hard time breathing.
You hear a dong, and the man's grip relaxes. And the knife, you're able to push the knife away from you, and the man recoils into the wall, and you turn around and you see an arrow sticking out of his eye, and he's blinking with his other eye.
Regardless, again, not thinking, like that doesn't register. So rather than actually just getting away, as I'm pushing it free, I actually guide his hand with the knife into his own gut.
Okay.
Ooh.
So you don't even have to roll for that. He's so shaken, and well, there's an arrow in his eye.
Yep.
It's pretty easy just to guide his hands. He doesn't even feel it happening, and put it into him. And his face relaxes, and he slumps to his knees and collapses to the ground.
And then I'm just on top of him, just punching and punching and punching and punching as hard as I can, willing, because this guy was just choking me out and once again holding me against my will, and it's not something that I enjoy.
So you see the other men that are around. They begin to run towards Imogen.
Do they?
Yeah.
Then I reload and I fire again. Maybe if depending, like I guess we do initiative again, right?
No, I'll say that you know what they stop the Penth. Like, did you react at all if they started running?
Yeah, I was gonna go after them.
Yeah. Okay. So they begin to move towards him, but
And I'll take Penth's lead, and I would also draw another, and I'd walk out into the alley, like on the opposite side of Penth, right, to be like, "Yo, you're gonna fuck with both of us." And
Yeah,
like,
we'll basically say, "Are you guys ready to die today about this?"
Because that's what you're gonna do.
And they say, "We just want to get back inside. Just go. We're just gonna go inside."
And how many of them? How many of them did we kill?
Let me
4.
I killed 2.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 of them. There's 3 of them still alive. The 2 in front of Penth and the one that was slashing at the.
And I say 6 of you just died because of a purse. Think about that.
I walk over to the one guy I killed first, completely ignoring the 2 because I can tell their intentions now are to run. I walk over and from his bloody face, right, I punched him, take a handprint, and I make a print on my sleeve, and then I check his pockets for any gold.
Okay.
Ignoring the others, just completely.
So you find 3 silver pieces, to be exact.
Yeah, I put it in my pocket.
Okay. And as you're kneeling down, you hear the one that Imogen first hit, pushing himself off the ground, and he's groaning. And he's groaning, trying to push himself up. There's like blood
as I'm punching and kind of blind to everything else going around me, I realize again that there's still more to go on. And I stand up, I look at everyone, and I see, Grinner standing there. I kind of in the background heard what he was talking about, and I'm just like, "Come at me! I'll fucking kill you all!"
So
Penth,
Penth,
and like I got all the blood and the chunks of flesh on my knuckles, and I actually start walking over to the guy who's starting to push himself up.
And as soon as he starts,
stay down! I'm coming for you right now.
Yeah, as soon as he does that, I walk over to him and I put my hand on his chest and I say, "Imogen, it's over now."
And I take a moment to just not even like, because I almost start to swing at Penth until I realize who it is, and then kind of catch my breath.
And I walk over too, like watching,
and then I
freaking out.
Push Penth away and just go find my quarterstaff and pick it up, and I'm like, "Yeah, we need more of this."
You guys are crazy. You hear a voice coming from the other side of the alley. The man standing in full plate armor with a purse that is dripping blood.
And I turn before I. Oh, sorry. Continue.
No, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, I turn to Penth and I say, frustrated. I say, "Penth, this was an unnecessary risk because what? A guy offended the Emir.
Yes.
We need to be smarter about this. We now have 6 dead bodies by our feet. We need to get out of here fast."
Grinner, you know, I can't allow for something like that to stand.
I know, but sometimes you need to bite your tongue. You need to let things go. You need to let things that bother you not bother you. Like we were saying with Imogen back in the Alienage, there was a lot of injustice going on. But sometimes for the greater good, we need to let it go, or else this happens.
If I let things like this go, if the Emir let things like this go, we could be living the same way that those elves are living. We stay strong when we fight when people oppose us.
Yes, but if everyone acted like that as well, then you'd be living where the elves are living. That's exactly why the elves are there, because the humans didn't like the way they spoke to them, and they therefore killed them and put them into a place.
So you think I had a choice there when a man spat at my feet and insulted my people?
I think walking out in the first place was your choice.
I was following Imogen.
Did
You
helping
stopped
you
it.
get this purse play into your decision at all?
No, sir.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
Why, whose purse is that?
My employer,
Who's that?
some lady. What do you care? It's how I get paid. I'm making money right now.
Fair enough, and you're entitled to make money however you need to. but it might be of use.
Well, I do want to say thank you for helping me. I can deal with the bodies, though I doubt anybody's going to really miss these thugs.
Well, we'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, you look familiar. I don't meet too many people with a hair lip.
Yeah.
I once knew a
Call
guy
it
in
that.
Denerim.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
And I
And
look
he
him
lifts-
over.
He lifts his faceplate and he says, "You son of a bitch. Do people still call you Grinner?"
And I say, who is this? I don't know
Karthus.
contact sheet. Karthus?
Karthus.
No way, I say. They sure do, Karthus. And I shake his massive hand.
I'm sorry it's covered in blood.
That's all right. You know I like to keep my hands clean.
What your friend did may have seemed foolhardy, but it's the only way I really would have survived that situation. When I'm angry and when people aren't allowing me to make money, I tend to do stupid things. So, thank
Hello,
you.
my name is Penn.
And I
Then
turned begrudgingly to Penth, kind of giving, someone else sort of being like, yeah, Penth did right. I'm kind of like, all right, well, fair enough. I wouldn't have helped, so I guess he's right in that.
And I'm very surprised with the elf. You, what are you, 12?
16.
That's pretty impressive what you did to those guys. Glad I wasn't the guy that got hit in the nads. Jeez.
I've got some issues.
I say, Imogen, you don't have any issues. You're fine.
So, well, Grinner, it's good to see you. I'm going to return this purse and hopefully make a few silver pieces here and there.
No, actually, you know what? Running into you was fortuitous timing. We're actually in need of a bit of help. Perhaps I could buy you a drink at the bar.
Yeah, you'll buy it for me.
Yeah, look, why don't you meet us at, and I say whatever, well, I ask him, what's a nearby bar?
There's the Talon.
Talon's perfect. Let's meet at the Talon after you return the purse. And I want to discuss a few things with you. I think we could be mutually beneficial for both of us.
All right, I'll meet you at the Talon tonight.
Yeah, we'll tidy up here, ish.
Need a hand? Looks like they might take care of it. I don't think it's in their best interest to have bodies lying around either.
True. Well, we'll check all the bodies for money, and we'll split it amongst the party. Right, Penn?
You can have from the people you killed. I only will take from the ones I took part in.
Well, I'll take some.
I'm going to kill that fucking dragon. This is foreshadowing. All mine.
That's fine.
All right, I'll meet you at the Talon. Thanks again.
And I say, of course, Karthus, it's thanks to Penth. The guy who doesn't share gold.
All right, and he makes his way down the alley. And he's kind of walking with a limp. And you can see he's still bleeding a bit, but...
He's a Tau Vishoth?
No. So Karthus is... You know that he was a Templar. When you were living in Denerim, you knew him from your... like when you were living in the Chantry, I guess?
Yeah.
You knew him as like one of the Templars who like guarded...
Here it is. Yes, dishonorably discharged, new from Chantry, self-certainized. Yes, I knew.
You didn't know he was dishonorably discharged.
Wait,
yeah, you did. Yeah, you did know. Yeah, so you don't know why he was dishonorably discharged. You just know that it happened. You were too young at the time to make heads or tails of it.
Fair enough.
Okay. So before we end, you guys you clean up a little bit and heal yourselves and head to the Talon Inn. But we're going to take flight, and we're going to soar over the shining sea, over top of Halam Sharal, the elven city that was abandoned years ago, or where the elves were driven away from, back into the Frostback Mountains. We're going to end with a little bit of a write-up. Oh, sit back, relax. Sorry if this is a little long, but here we go. Back to the Frostback Mountains. The rain falls heavily this night, pounding loudly on the stretched hide tents of the Emir encampment. Between the tents, 3 men on horseback trudge their way through the mud toward the end of the path where the largest tent rests. It glows orange from the fire lit inside and is the only light in sight on this gloomy evening. It is 1 week after Penth and Grinner left the encampment, and 1 week before where they are now. Elar Sagari looks up from her desk as the flap to her tent opens. Her massive guard, Nikoru, enters, his bulging muscles slick from the rain, and he nods to Sagari. He then steps aside, ushering 3 more men into the room. All 3 are armored, carry weapons, and are also drenched. They look relieved to be out of the rain, and without wasting time, Sagari welcomes them. "You have traveled far, gentlemen. Please, make yourselves comfortable," she says as she gestures toward the crackling fire. The last 2 to enter waste no time and rush to the fire's side, but the biggest of the 3 steps towards her and extends a hand. "Elar Sagari, you have done well to contact us. Though I am surprised to hear from you so soon. I trust the plan is in motion?" Though not as impressive as Nikoru, the man standing before her is tall and built, with skin dark as ash. She locks eyes with him and firmly takes his hand. "Everything is in place, Sir Lancaster. He has been given the honor band, and he wears it with pride." She glances to one of Lancaster's men by the fire, an elf, squatting and leaning on his quarterstaff as he gazes into the flame. "So long as it is with him, your mage will be able to track him down." "Good," says Lancaster. He turns his head and calls to the other man who is warming himself. "Krillin, would you be so kind as to thank the Elar for her hospitality?" The man named Krillin reaches into his sack sitting next to him and reveals a hefty coin satchel. He tosses it to Lancaster and goes back to unwinding by the fire. "You are wise to do this, Sagari," Lancaster says as he catches the satchel and hands it to the Elar. "If you and the Emir had tried to protect him, the Templar Order would have no choice but to hold your entire clan responsible for the crimes he has committed." Sagari drops her gaze to the bag in her hands. It has a good weight, but she loosens the strap and peers inside just to be sure. 15 shiny gold coins rest within, exactly what they had agreed upon. She lifts her head once again to meet the gaze of the man before her, Aldo Lancaster, a knight lieutenant of the Templars and a disciplined, well-respected member of his order. She had met him only once before, when he had outlined Penth's crimes to her. Murder of a Templar named Saxon, as well as the protection of an apostate. Together, Sagari and Lancaster had devised a plan that would not only bring Penth to justice, but could also lead to the apprehension of the rogue mage as well. With this deal, if Sagari could prove her loyalty and the value of the Emir to Lancaster, then perhaps the Templars would continue to work with the Emir, helping to lead her clan to greater prosperity and renown. "A word of caution, Lancaster. Penth is an Emir warrior. No doubt you have heard of the ferocity that our people bring into battle, and while Penth is not the strongest of us by no means, he is indeed a fine warrior. He also travels with a lowlander who admittedly has some skill with a bow. And there is also the apostate. As my letter explained, they have been employed by the same man, and there is a chance that the mage will be with them this time. No disrespect, but they may offer more resistance than you anticipate." She eyes Lancaster, watching her words sink in, and after a beat, he replies thoughtfully. "Perhaps you are right, Elar. The Emir people are a people for hire, correct? Mercenaries by trade? Sagari nods, smiling slightly. Very well. He directs his gaze to the back of the tent. In the dancing shadows and flickering firelight, his eyes fall upon a hulking figure, who with limbs like tree trunks and 3 jagged scars across his face stands stoically behind Sagari. Impressed by his sheer mass and obvious strength, Lancaster turns back to the Elder Mother and continues. How much do you want for that one? And we're going to end it there.
Thank you all for being with us on this Wednesday night. The Dragon Age 2, Part 3. This has been such a blast doing this and revisiting these characters, and we are so excited to continue this on. Thank you guys for being with us. Thank you to all the new members for joining us. This is going to be an exciting adventure, and I am super, super nervous for what might be coming in the future. There's a lot of little seeds planted, and we're going to see what we can reap from them. Thank you again to Justin. Thank you again to these players. Thank you again to you guys so much for hanging with us on this Wednesday night. You guys have a fantastic weekend. I think we might do a spooky game night stream this weekend, maybe Friday night. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, you guys have a fantastic weekend. And as Chris always likes to say,
We'll see you guys around the table.
We'll see you around the table, guys. Good night.